the canker, a canker that plies to women, that is breast cancer. So we will look into that later on in the AM program. But you are welcome to AM Ghana on Adoatv. I am blessed and highly favored, and it is Julia, yes, coming to you live on your screen this morning, wherever you are or whichever medium you are watching me from. We have a lot in store for you today. Yes, we promise to bring you the newspaper review segment that will be followed by something awesome coming from the breast cancer department. We'll have one doctor here to speak with us, and a little more. We'll go a little personal on it with we'll have someone for you to go dive deeper, and we will expect your questions. We will expect your comments as well. But before that, we'll have a little of sports, and then right after this short break we are about to go to, we will have to look into the headline stories, making the headline stories that interest you and interest me as Ghanaians. And I will be joined later by the gentleman. I don't think that the word honorable should be given to just those who sit in parliament. I mean, we have to give respect to who respect is due. So we will have Isaac Otu, the honorable gentleman, joining me later. Don't go anywhere. I know it's wet and you feel like staying in bed, but we still have work to do. So while you get ready, put on your what keeps you warm, whether it's a sweater, whether it's a jacket, whatever it is, and stay active with me. I'll run you through from this time till 10 a.m. Let's go for a quick break. We'll be right back.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing desk at Step Work premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Hello, this is Dr. Josephine Nsafo from the Breast Unit Kolebu Teaching Hospital. This year also we are partnering with Sonotech Medical and Diagnostic Center. October is here again. Breast Cancer Awareness Month 2021. The message hasn't changed. Early detection and effective treatment save lives. I hope you've been doing your monthly breast self-examination throughout the year. So I'm just here to remind you that it's time to get your annual breast screening done. And for women 40 years and above, you need to do your mammogram. Breast scans are also very useful for women of all ages. And Sonotech is giving up to 50% discount this year at their Osu, West Hills and Tema branches. Every year, the breast unit sees about 400 new cases of breast cancer, including a few men, in addition to those already living with the disease. Unfortunately, almost 70% of these are already advanced. This is because people do not come early, and a lot are trying natural, herbal, and alternative remedies which do not work. So we have a lot of unnecessary deaths. But for those who do come early with effective treatments, they have been cured, and I'm happy to say that we have a lot of breast cancer survivors with us. So remember to look for changes in your breast, a lump in your breast or your armpits, and a dimple, a rash, a sore, nipple discharge, especially when it's bloody. And remember that when breast cancer starts, it's usually not painful. Early detection is key, and with effective treatment, should you be diagnosed with breast cancer, your life will be saved. Stay safe.
Yeni Masatek, so your kunini roofing industry nim enti Saudi roofina na wadwen Asatek. Asatek will quality long span roofing sheeter a sign nail free. Tresse e here so de dadwabomu now so a team would down so Pampe Alframa and a whom and to minion Asatek quality long span roofing sheets with beautiful bright colors with anti-fading and anti-rusting properties. Tresse a renache name panso enti warmer 30-year warranty. Terms and conditions apply. Asatek quality long span roofing sheet dear. Eyama debia say a warehouse, school, hotel, hospital, sorry, and now say a wawufi. Use Asatek quality nail free long span roofing sheet to be. Now what done to be jinaso na yinho. Where delivery services papa bia and for wonderful kwa Asatek Bema was can order between 3 and 5 working days. Our VIP delivery services so one day pet na Osaka. We Asatek a chill kwai Watama 22 Meridian Road when you could board warehouse na paying Takrade if you kuma number 9 what pay if you kuma Fidelity Bank no voter region so or Wakache Tatome GN Bank and Chen Hope Asatek sheltering you for life.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258 or visit our marketing desk at the work premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
And I'm still here. Welcome back. I know you are still there also waiting for me on a glorious day as this, the 1st of October, and it's a Friday. As promised, Isaac Otu, the Honorable, is here. Isaac, a blessed and a fruitful month, new month to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, and same to you too. A very good morning to everyone who has tuned in to Adoatv Television this morning. We are grateful to the Almighty God for granting us the mercy and the opportunity to witness such a blessed day like this. Not all have been alive to witness such a day like this. It's 1st October. You know, for this young Kasa day, a lot has been happening. People dying out of COVID, people dying out of road accidents and other illness and the like. But God has been grateful to us, and we are still alive to witness such a day like this. As I keep on saying, it's another opportunity for you to try again. I always keep mentioning opportunity, because opportunities are all over around us, but we just don't see them. Take an opportunity and try again. It will work this time around. Good morning. And it's been raining since dawn.
Isn't that supposed to be enough a symbol to tell us how blessed this month is?
Exactly. Showers of blessings.
Showers of blessings.
And we are most grateful to the Almighty
God.
So
and I am particularly grateful for Sonotech. I don't know if you can see it here. Sonotech Medical and Diagnostic Center. And I just want to give you a little bit about what they do before we enter into the headlines. I've had people who have to actually travel just to get certain scans and testings done because your hospital doesn't have enough facilities or whatever it is to help you, especially in your medical journey for whatever treatment course or diagnosis that you have actually been ailed with. And from Sonotech Medical and Diagnostic Center is announcing the opening of their third branch, and this branch is located at the West Hills Mall, and it's been opened since Monday the 13th of the gone September 2021, and it is their biggest branch, and they are going to provide us with or they are providing us, because it's already open, with a wide range of diagnostic services and an unforgettable patient experience. And if you've ever been a patient before, you know how just the service, even if you have all the money to pay for it, how you will cherish valuable service, unforgettable experience. Yes, services include MRI scans, CT scans, 2D, 3D, 4D, ultrasounds. Yes, for those who want to know the gender of their baby and all that. 4D, and for other purposes of the scan, they also have ECG. Then we have echocardiogram, dental X-ray, general and specialist consultation, and health screening packages. The services will be provided on a 24-hour basis. 24 hours. And they are not shying away from holidays, and they are not shying away from Sundays as well. They are asking us to visit. Just go and have a feel of that unforgettable experience. You have their numbers right here. So as you watch me, you can pick any of their numbers right down there. I think there are 3 numbers to contact, and then 3 WhatsApp lines as well. The first number is for the Osu branch, the Tema branch, and the West Hills branch. So whichever one is closest to you, just take the number. If you feel WhatsApping is your thing, then just WhatsApp them. Sonotech, we are your total health care partners for life. For life. Thank you very much.
I think the numbers are being displayed even in the squeeze bar.
Okay, on the
screen.
All right.
This month.
And I'm very, very happy about what Sonotech is doing, because this month is breast cancer awareness. So where else to get your mammograms and all that from except Sonotech?
Yes, they are giving hope and saving lives too.
Exactly.
As well. I'm very interested in particular about the free breast
screening.
I mean, it's an opportunity for everyone at all to have their breast.
And don't say you are too young, because I've seen a young girl get breast cancer. And don't say you're a male, because there are testimonies of males having. So let's all just get close. Tema, Osu, and the new West Hills, which is the biggest. Get there. Do that scan. It's free. What do you have to lose? Nothing. You have nothing to lose. Just get there and have that done. We're going to jump straight into the newspaper headlines.
Yes, but I would want us to take just a sip of water so we could clear our throats. Okay. And then when we return...
In this weather, I think I'll do tea. So
I think I would also do coffee. We'll be right back.
Hot one. All right, we'll be back.
Hello, this is Dr. Josephine Nsafo from the Breast Unit Kolebu Teaching Hospital. This year also we are partnering with Sonotech Medical and Diagnostic Center. October is here again. Breast Cancer Awareness Month 2021. The message hasn't changed. Early detection and effective treatment save lives. I hope you've been doing your monthly breast self-examination throughout the year. So I'm just here to remind you that it's time to get your annual breast screening done. And for women 40 years and above, you need to do your mammogram. Breast scans are also very useful for women of all ages. And Sonotech is giving up to 50% discount this year at their Osu, West Hills, and Tema branches. Every year, the breast unit sees about 400 new cases of breast cancer, including a few men, in addition to those already living with the disease. Unfortunately, almost 70% of these are already advanced. This is because people do not come early, and a lot are trying natural, herbal, and alternative remedies which do not work. So we have a lot of unnecessary deaths. But for those who do come early with effective treatments, they have been cured. And I'm happy to say that we have a lot of breast cancer survivors with us. So remember to look for changes in your breast. A lump in your breast or your armpit, and a dimple, a rash, a sore, nipple discharge, especially when it's bloody. And remember that when breast cancer starts, it's usually not painful. Early detection is key. And with effective treatment, should you be diagnosed with breast cancer, your life will be saved. Stay safe.
So I'm done taking my coffee, and I believe Lady Julia is also done taking her tea.
Yeah, you nearly bent my thumbs.
So sorry about that. You're welcome back. Many thanks for staying with us here on the AM Ghana Breakfast Show here on Adoatv Television. Let's go straight to the newspaper headlines. And to begin with is the Daily Guard newspaper, Truth and Accuracy Every Day. The big story here is 7 illegal miners have been arrested by the deputy, and the deputy minister is alarmed by foreigners invasion. The deputy minister, I believe, is Mr. George Reku Duka. His picture we have here on the front page of the Daily Guard newspaper. So 7 persons comprising 4 Ghanaians, and 2 Ghanaians, I beg your pardon, and 5 foreigners have still neck deep in illegal mining activities in New Ebrim districts in the eastern region have been arrested. You can grab a copy of the Daily Guard newspaper to have more on that. Buduburam residents vacate ahead of demolition. Buduburam residents vacate ahead of demolition. Lady Julia will be giving a snippet of what that entails when it's headed. And police recruitment scam leader has been grabbed. Police recruitment scam leader has been grabbed. And the story is on page 13 of the Daily Guard news. Daily Graphic, I beg your pardon. Daily Graphic newspaper. You can grab a copy of that. And there is this interesting story I chanced on here. So, a former French president, Nicolas Sarkozy, has received a jail sentence for spending almost double the legal limits on his unsuccessful 2012 campaign. He will appeal the ruling and is unlikely to spend time in prison. So this indicates that in France there is a capping of an amount you have to spend during your electioneering campaign, and he exceeded that by so
He had more money to spare.
I wish this would be in Ghana too. I mean, when we are going to our elections, just primaries alone, the amount of money which is being pumped into this is just overwhelming. And these individuals would want to make it up after they gain power. And that is what we've been witnessing in this country.
So it's like a seed. It's got to grow. So
they
do that with that imagination or that plan, that ideology. I'm planting. So when I get the power, I will recuperate.
Of course. Yes. And our lawmakers, I don't believe, would put this into consideration. Never. Not at all. So we shouldn't even consider having this.
I remember that in planting, you put in only one seed, but it has to yield
many other fruits.
Whatever
for
that applies.
So you would enjoy. So fathers are being advised to be comfortable discussing sex with their girls. fathers are being urged to be comfortable discussing sex with their girls. So Selassie, be very comfortable when you are discussing sex with your girls because it helps indeed.
Oh, his fathers who. Okay, you mean Selassie with his daughters?
Hey,
okay,
forgive me. Wow, the other man is working me indeed. The other man is working me indeed. I'm sorry. So Selassie, when you're discussing sex with your daughters, I mean, he has 2 daughters. If you don't know, Selassie.
Wow.
Has 2 daughters, yes, and 1 boy. Very beautiful and babbling.
Selassie, I'm in shock.
Yeah, he has two girls and 1 boy. So Selassie, be very comfortable when you are discussing sex with your girls.
But don't leave the boy out too.
It's also important, yeah. So let me give you just a snippet of what the police recruitment scam leader what has been grabbed until. So the police have arrested a 21-year-old man suspected to be the leader of a police recruitment scam. The suspect, Frank Jr., was arrested at Zango Junction, an area at Adenta in Accra on September 27, 2021. You may want to have more on that, so grab a copy of the Daily Guard. Why am I saying Daily Guard this morning like that? Daily Graphic newspaper, and you would have more on that. And yes, need I remind you that effective today till March 2022, if you don't re-register your SIM card, consider it blocked. From today, October 1, 2021 till March 2022, that is next year. If you do not re-register your SIM card,
ample time.
Yes, ample time. So don't go rushing at the various offices to have your SIM card re-registered. No, relax. COVID is still around. We shouldn't go and gather at the offices. You know, Ghanaians, what we are capable of doing when we would want to have our things done on time. Yeah. There is an ample time for you to do that. So you could just relax anytime at all. Walk into any of the offices of the internet service providers, I mean, so you could have your SIM card re-registered. Thank you. I think that would do for the Daily Guard newspaper. Let me see what's
Daily Graphic.
Daily Graphic. Hey,
I think he's very used, so familiar with Daily Guide, right?
I'm always with the Daily Guide. I think that is why.
It's good we did a change today. So I am doing the Daily Guide, and that's your favorite newspaper. Ghana's favorite newspaper, and you can also get them on www.dailyguidenetwork.com. The biggest story here is still on the Ejura mayhem, and it says security flopped. I think we know, with knee-jerk tactics, and the story is on page 3. I believe it's worth your read. So just a little story by Ernest Kofi Edu, the 3-member committee which probed the mayhem that rocked the Ejura in the Ejura Dumase district of the Ashanti region on June 29th, leading to the killing of 2 people and injuries of 4 others following the death of Ibrahim Muhammad aka Kaka. Yeah, I got the name last 2 days. Kaka. Okay. He has indicted security agents for acting provocatively to escalate the violence. Yeah, they rather escalated the violence. There's more to it, but that was just to get your appetites. Anyway, second on this, I think I'll take this one. Piracy high on Gulf of Guinea. I think I saw some, was it yesterday, a video or so? Something on this. Piracy.
I think it was in the morning. It was a documentary earlier. Yesterday in the morning.
Piracy high on Gulf of Guinea. We have Thomas Kofi Alonsi. Story is on page 3 and page 6. And why I'm interested in page 3 is we have EC, the special prosecutor telling EC officials, saying, is a warning, I will arrest corrupt EC officials.
Yeah.
I will arrest corrupt EC officials. Special prosecutor is singing this and this warning out to you.
Yeah.
That is Kisi Ejabe, Mr. Kisi Ejabe.
You would want to stay with us for more on that newspaper.
review segment.
Yeah.
Okay, then on the Bujumburam case, Bujumburam refugee camp going down, down. And I'm reading just a little on it. It says the minister of the biggest refugee camp in Ghana, which security experts say has become a criminal den, is going to be cleared. Is going to. Okay, so
It's
future
not
tense
being
is not
cleared
yes.
yet.
Okay, going down. All right. Cleared by the Gomwa East District Assembly in the Central Region, the Budumburam refugee camp near Kaswa was set up by the United Nations Refugee Agency (UNHCR) in the 1990s to host people fleeing war-ravaged Liberia. As of 2006, the UNHCR has estimated that Budumburam has estimated that Budumburam as hosting, I think there's something wrong with that construction, there, 38,000 largely Liberian refugees. Please check the wording. The camp was subsequently decommissioned as a refugee base by the UNHCR in June 2010 and has since been deemed as a hideout for social deviants, including alleged armed robbery gangs.
What we do know is that in December 2012, there was another decongestion. So we would have to find out and ask questions about what discussions went on after this decongestion.
And if it has already been decommissioned, and you know that since 2010 it's been a hideout for armed robbers and all manner of criminals, why do you even go and decongest it? I mean, it should have gone down like long time ago.
It's been long overdue.
Long time ago. No wonder areas like Kaswa are complaining of serious and alarming crime rates. This is close to them. It's
always about Kaswa, but I think this time around, Takade would want to take it from Kaswa.
When it comes to the kidnapping cases, right? I think that they all have their share. They all have what is known, what is prevalent within the community. A little on sports from Daily Guide. Barca's situation is critical. My Barca, Sergio Busquets. Is it Busquets? I don't know.
This is what is happening after our very own. Bye bye to the team.
And talking about our very own, we go to the opposite side of our very own. When you have Ronaldo, you always have a chance. You always have a chance.
And this is coming from who?
Oh, of course. C. Ronaldo celebrated a record-breaking night in the Champions League with a dramatic injury time winner for Manchester United at Old Trafford.
The reporter who actually reported, or the editor for this newspaper, is an anti-Messi human being.
Yeah, because of the way he put the Barca situation.
He's an anti-Messi.
Okay, so you've been busted. And I think that will be it. I mean, that will be it for sports. Just a little there. And that will be the signing off for Daily Guide newspaper.
Quickly, let me run you through the Ghanaian Times newspaper research. It is the most authoritative newspaper. And the screaming headline we have here is: plans to redevelop Bujumburam refugee camp. Residents resist eviction order, but DC wants they stay at their own peril. But on the Daily Graphic, it says Bujumburam residents vacate. But this time around, we are being told by the Ghanaian Times that residents resisted eviction order. And you would want to have more on that, so kindly grab a copy of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. The story is on page 16. You could read more about that. Footballer arrested over police recruitment scam. Wow, another one arrested, and this time around he's a footballer over police recruitment scam. A 24-year-old unemployed man, Solomon Azuri, this is another story though, will spend the next 18 years of his life in prison after he was convicted for robbery and sentenced by the Accra Circuit Court yesterday. So Solomon, you have a picture here. Mazuri has been arrested, and for the next 18 years of his life, he would be spending it in prison for robbery after he was convicted of robbery. I think that would do for the Ghanaian Times newspaper. We have a lot coming on the show this morning, so
Okay.
we would want to just brush through them so we would have enough time to discuss, because I understand Sunotech will be here this morning to
Yes.
tell us more about what we need to do in order to prevent. They say prevention is better than cure, you know.
Yeah,
And even if you are not able to prevent it and it happens, how best do you treat it? How best do you ensure that you get rid of it? And more of their offers they will be disclosing to us on the show. So you would want to stay with us to have more on that. And I think that would do for the Ghanaian Times newspaper.
Okay, then on issue 3, number 15 of the Daily Statesman, I have here ex-French president jailed over illegal campaign funding, and that's what the Honorable took some few minutes earlier. The bigger story says foreign ministry schools are black. Foreign ministry schools are Blackwell. They have their issues pulling themselves here and there, and to know
Is it about the presidential jet
exactly. So if you want to know, if you want to be schooled on it, go to page
Hey,
2.
school time.
Yeah, go to page 2. We have the 2 pictures there. One of the Honorable Shelley Ayoko Botre, Ministry of the Foreign Affairs. Yes. Then we also have Okujato Ablakwa, MP for North Tongo. We also have down there on page 2 Accra Tema motorway to get 5 interchanges.
Wow.
5.
Wow.
5. 5.
Wow.
5. And again, NPP.
Well, it has been said we are hoping to see that
Yes.
being pan out and being implemented. We are just sick and tired of the mere promises without fulfillment.
Yes. Page 3, I continue. NPP begins regional annual delegates conferences today. Okay, so for those that are interested in that particular one, we have the story on page 3. And no, I'm not reading anything for you. Just grab your copy. So, cuff, that's what I'm looking for. Hazaka ladies
They are in
draw.
the news again.
They draw Wadi. I think this is just for. This is the same as yesterday's.
What we
giving
did
us
yesterday.
for with Mali and their co. I mean, those they
Equatorial Guinea
line up
and
with in the team. Yeah. Okay, I think that is. Oh, there is one here. Police troops. This is late news. Okay. okay. That's it. All right. So if you want to be schooled on what the foreign minister said to Ablakwa, it's on page 2, and that is a very good reason for you to get your copy of the Daily Statesman. That's how I wrap up for it.
Right, and my last for the set of newspapers is the new weekend crusading guide. New weekend crusading guide. And the big story we have here is CDD Ghana has come out with their survey again on whether or not Ghanaians are to be given the opportunity to elect or maintain status of MMDCEs. And per their survey, 76% were in favor or are in favor of election. This is according to CDD. They would want the appointment of MMDCEs should be something Ghanaians should be given the opportunity to elect themselves, not the government of the day appointing or nominating who he or she feels is better for it. We should be able.
I side with that.
Okay, then I think CDD should take yours too, in addition to the 76% we have here. And Kweku Bakon's brother to be buried today in London. Kweku Bakon, seasoned journalist, father to be buried today. Dr. Entry Boesiakun, appointed Director General of Cybersecurity Authority. Dr. Entry Boesiakun, appointed Director General of Cybersecurity Authority. You may want to even know what the authority is about. Grab yourself a copy of the new Weekend Crusading Guide, and you would have more on that. And blabber over auction state properties. Chief of Staff did no wrong. A group is defending her. I don't know how come this is in the news, though. I don't know what the group is defending her for, but you may want to have that. So kindly grab yourself a copy of the new Weekend Crusading Guide and do justice to that. I haven't quit music. I'm just concentrating on acting. Missy Sidu. Did she begin anything in music?
Who is that?
Ghanaian actress Missy Sidu.
Yeah,
She began something in music.
Yes, she's singing now. Some
Really?
gospel. Yeah.
In the
I think I've
list.
seen about, is it two at least for me? Because I don't usually watch TV. But
Then I'm
yes,
lost.
Yes.
But she says she hasn't quit though. She's only concentrating on acting for now. She'll bounce back. So fans of Missy Sidu in her music career, Monsia but I, or Beba I. So I think that is it for the new Weekend Crusading Guide.
Okay, and to the Chronicle. Finally, the Chronicle. We like reading that last because it is the spear of the nation and it is truly the true independent. What do they have for us this morning? Policy to assemble and manufacture vehicles locally, still on course. That's by Alan. And I'm trying to save this for last. The big story here.
Hoping to see what it is.
But you know, the Chronicle, as much as I like you, there's one thing you do I don't like. You never give reference pages to your stories.
And I think, okay, New Crusading did just one for the Chief of Staff story.
Because this one I just read about their vehicles. I mean, vehicles being locally manufactured is a very interesting topic. A lot of people want to read on. So I think when you give, because you know Ghanaians and our reading habits. So when you at least direct them what page to hit, maybe somebody has something, a very busy schedule today, you don't know, and they just want a gist of it.
That.
At least when they grab it, they know where exactly to go to. So help us with that. Okay, and another one without a reference. Kufo addresses forum on Buzia in Sunyani today. Okay. Then Sakawa people must explain their wealth. But the only question I have is, how do you identify Sakawa people?
Well, individuals who showing off but cannot tell where they get their money from. They are not able to identify their source
of income. Okay. Okay. Because my issue is that is what we do in our communities. We see someone with a flashy car and then we just brand them off as Sakawa
people. But do you know, even if you would want to have more on that, you would want to go further into that to know this individual source of income, then it turns the other way around to be that you are just jealous of this individual.
Exactly.
You just because you don't have what he or she has is the reason for which you want to interrogate.
Yes. So I didn't want us to fall also in that pit hole of just because this story has already branded such people without investigating, because you say that they must explain, which means the investigation has not
the explanations yet.
The name tag on them, Sakawa. So what if you go and then you find out there are 2 or 3 people abroad who is just bringing things down and they are just and maybe they are even supposed to keep these things well, and they are just the ones doing the showing off. You never know, because we do know of certain people who brag and boast, but in reality don't even afford a 3 square meal. So what about that? I think this is
a lot need to go into.
Yes, and that story is on page 15, by the way. It does have the caption. I see here, okay, Kumasi Assembly members threaten government again. Kumasi Assembly members threaten government again. And what do they have to say? Listen, pay KMAs 50 million Ghana cedi debt. So they are in debt, and if you know, the court was advising they sell off their office complex, yes, to be able to cater or fulfill this debt. And assembly members are threatening government, pay KMA's 50 million Ghana cedi debt, or we reject some pine.
The nominee for the
yes, KMA. Yes. That's a funny one for me. It's a funny one. That's when the citizenry...
That's blackmailing. You know?
Yes, when citizenry starts getting to know their power.
And they know this is the only time they would get this. They
know we've got the power, and they are using it.
And they'll show you we have the power.
Anyway. Also on the front page, I see this. And yesterday you had one of the headlines from this. I don't remember which paper exactly, but you were talking about the increased rate of infection, AIDS, HIV. The Chronicle has it here, and you see what I love about Chronicle. They have given you a graphic, you know,
work.
Yes, a graphic spread on it. Yes, a diagram of a sort. It says Ghana's new HIV infections. It has total new infections at 18,000.
Wow.
928, which is way more than
previous years.
By age group, we have adults 25 years upward, making 53%.
Wow.
53. I'm not talking about HIV, those that have the HIV infection.
25 years and above.
Yes, 53%.
Wow.
And we also have young people between 15 to 24, making 28%. And then we have children, of course, from 14 below, making 19%. And that's worrisome.
Wow.
And females, 83%. Yeah.
Females.
Compared to 17 for males. That is dangerous.
Extremely. Extremely dangerous. And I mean, the education on this should be intensified very well, so people would get to know things we have to do in order to prevent ourselves from getting infected with this
is
virus.
A new, and you can compare it with the total number living with HIV in Ghana now is down there. So that's just for you to know, and a caution to you. I can't tell you how to live your life, but at least I can put the word of caution out there. Yeah, and that will be it for me. I think that got the joy out of my last statement. So that will be it for the Chronicle. I will sum it up with a quote from Matthew 18:32. Then the master called the servants in. You wicked servant, he said, I cancelled all that debt of yours because you begged me to. So who is the wicked? Who is the wicked, or who are the wicked servants who are not forgiving debts?
The Chronicle, the
Assembly.
But just before we go, our sisters and brothers, so let me say our sister country, Nigeria, is 61 years old today, and happy
How could I have forgotten? And so today is a holiday in Nigeria. And funny enough, they have to go borrowing to get themselves out of debt. Nigeria and Ghana, I don't know. We are sisters, whether sister nations. We are. Yes.
Sure.
Rich nation.
Yeah. But we still go ahead to borrow to pay our debt.
Where did I see this? I saw
it's very serious. But all things being equal, we say happy independence to brothers and sisters in Nigeria.
And all Nigerians, especially in from Opera Square to Okaishi.
Yes,
happy independence. And today is I know how Nigerians do not joke with their holidays and with chilling. So all the Nigerians in Ashoman Estate, I know the food yard is your base. Just thought, Please chill, but don't freeze. I know you. Okay.
I think on that note,
all right, we'll go for a quick break and we'll be back with the next segment. Don't go anywhere.
Is on standby.
I just want to take a peek. See how he's dressed today. That gallant gentleman will not. I know he will not go easy on us. Today is a Friday. I'm waiting for him. So while we wait for him, we'll just take turn around a little.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Malaria and tea. You are yet more bono. Malaria, therefore, yaw. Enti awo. I shouldn't customers. Well, when I say, Mammy, I am smart. I bet CB Malakio. I'm money buyer or the eco school. Share. Say a pianisi berry market any malaria and tea. I want me. And now Emma will be around to walk. So we have malaria test. Maybe one. And better wa and the CB Malakio. You do not. And now I can't bomb a son so I CB Malakio. And no way so there. And I know grow. I yet tata shit. A drawing your ma a pen for about a woman for any quada won't in fear. Susiana, what would you weekend? FD Ashusha sa a jedi and crack to you aja to Musa and
Yeni Masatek, so your kunini roofing industry nim, enti, Saudi roofina, now what Jen Asatek. Asatek will quality long span roofing sheeter, a cyanide free, Tresse, and here so did a drabomu, now so a team would down the soa. Pampe, Alframa, and a whom and to me. Asatek quality long span roofing sheets with beautiful bright colors with anti-fading and anti-rusting properties. Tresse, every nache name panso, enti warmer 30-year warranty. Terms and conditions apply. Asatek quality long span roofing sheet dear. Eyama debia, say a warehouse, school, hotel, hospital, sorry, and now say a wawufi. Use Asatek quality nail free long span roofing sheet to be. Now what done to be Janaso, then you know. Where delivery services Papa Bia and for wonderful Asatek Bema was second order between 3 and 5 working days. Or VIP delivery services as well. 1 day pet now Osaka. Which Asatek a chill quine Watamakono 2 Meridian Road when you could board warehouse na paying Takrade if you kuma number 9. What pay if you kuma Fidelity Bank no Voter Regional so or Wakache Tatome GN Bank and Chenhope. Asatek sheltering you for life.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258 or visit our marketing decks at Step Work premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
John, what you know? Wow, Eddie, what boy juma. I check a roofing now. Oh, you fell one casa from Asatek. Oh, na same roofing is a baby bray, nice keke. Why the catch hell? Asatek roofing sheet today, and your nice keke with the bodan swa a chee and renache. They want to call us a hood of a fair bray. No one free roofing sheet no dear. Who near that will be out. Now so the bodan swa a zero supampe. What means which Roman send your roofing sheet no? You tell the summer pepe. Mama poor Asatek when you there. One of my technical advice na estimate free. Our professional installers nso a wɔyɛ on-site installation. Ne boss kura da fam pa. Oh yes, quality ne bo da fam nye. Asatec 5 days pay na mo sa kan order. Na wɔyɛ after sales service papa bi nso. Hwehwɛ Asatec wɔ Tema Community 2, Meridian Road, Ebenkoko Board Warehouse. Western Region so Asatec wɔ Takrade Anaji, yɛne Princeland Hotel ɛna di nhwɛni mu. Ɛna Volta Region yɛwɔ Akachi South District Assembly kwan no so hɔ.
Hello everyone, my name is Emily Date, a proud ambassador for Sonotech's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's hashtag Pinktober, hashtag Sonotech Goes Pink. Now from the 1st October to the 31st October 2021, at any of the 3 branches of Sonotech, Tema, Osu and West Hills Malls, we are gathering together to get free screening. Yes, I said it's free. And that's not all we have for you. We also have 20% off mammogram testing and 50% off ultrasound. Let's go pink from October the 1st to the 31st, 2021 at Osu, Tema, and West Hills Mall, all Sonotech branches. We are giving hope to save a life. See you there.
Okay, so we have the gallant gentleman right back. He's here.
Yeah.
He's here. And that's why we came back. I mean, we came back just because of him. So I know you are keen and you are ready to hear from the Minister of Sports in Adoatv, Mr. Yao Junior Ampof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My man is seen. My main man is seen.
You're welcome. Good morning and happy new month to you.
Thank you so much. I must say, some of the fans you give me every morning makes my day.
I wish you would step, in front of the podium so that they
would have the full shot of him.
As for this shirt,
But I think there is still a full shot of him on the screen, though.
Okay.
I mean,
so if you can see his shirt,
he's looking good this morning.
Yes.
What do you have for us in the world of sports?
Well, there is a lot happening when it comes to the qualifiers for the African Cup, the World Cup, and basically locally there is a lot which is happening. The Minister of Youth and Sports is doing so much when it comes to local sports development. And, this week they've signed a quadripartite agreement for youth and sports development in Abuja, which is Nigeria. So we'll be giving you the details of it. And there is also news about Zimbabwe and then the Ghana clash.
This month, October 2.
Basically, a lot of graphics have been covering it. Explosion is happening today, so we have a lot of news. Yes, about the Black Stars again.
Right.
So more sports news coming later.
Yes.
Okay.
Walk us through them then.
Okay, so in our very first story, which is a local story, the Minister of Youth and Sports has signed a quadripartite agreement for youth development in Abuja, which is basically for Ghana. Now, the Minister of Youth and Sports, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, signed a quadripartite agreement with colleague youth and sports ministers from Nigeria, Algeria, Egypt, and then other countries after addressing the 56th Ordinary Committee session of Association of National Olympic Committee of Africa, ANOCA, at Abuja. Now, the agreement focuses on youth development of the various countries in digital skills training, digital economy, and then enterprise development, as well as enterprise training in youth and sports. The minister expressed satisfaction with the proposal to expand the agreement to include all ministers across the continent, and also present experts from individual countries to form a technical committee to draft a fit for purpose framework for all countries to follow. Now, addressing the press after the signing ceremony, the Nigerian Youth and Sports Development Minister, Honorable Sunday Da, announced that they need to work together to facilitate development in the area of youth and sports collectively. Now, the Egyptian minister also added as words, who is the Egyptian minister, who is called Ashraf Sobi, on the spot affirmed that they as a body will work as one in Africa in the effort to develop youth and sport in the whole of Africa. With a scheme from Honorable Minister from Nigeria, we seek to now work together. Mensah has scored as Columbus Crew lifts the Champions Cup in the USA. Now, the Ghanaian defender Jonathan Mensah was on target for Columbus Crew as they won their first continental silverware following a 2-0 win over Mexican champions Cruz Azul on Wednesday night. Mensah put up an impressive display to help his side seal the 2021 Champions Cup at the Lower.com field. Now, Mensah's 74th minute header sealed Columbus' victory after Lucas Zelaren's tantalizing free kick resulted in an own goal that put Cruz in front on the 4th minute, dispatching their Liga MX foe. Now, Columbus Crew becomes the second consecutive MLS side to win the 4-year-old trophy after Atlanta United defeated Club Americana 3-2 in 2019. Still in some local news, Edmond Ado has been rewarded with a Black Star Scholar after a masterclass against Real Madrid. Now, if you can recall, Edmondo featured prominently for Sheriff Tiraspol, which is based in Moldova. They were debutants in the UEFA Champions League. Now, after a barnstorming performance against Real Madrid in the Champions League in midweek, there had been whispers about a future national team call-up for Edmond Ado. Ado has been called up by the Black Star squad head coach Milovan Rajevac as a replacement for Alfred Duncan, who pulled out of the team due to injury. Now, the Florentina midfielder is currently nursing a hamstring injury, which is expected to keep him out of action throughout the international break. Now, Ado, who was the toast of Ghanaians after a decent performance in Sheriff's win at the Bernabeu, is in line for his first national team call-up. Now, finally, in our more local sports news, Heart of Folk will engage Tema Youth in another friendly match. Now, Accra Heart of Folk, who are the champions of the Ghana Premier League, will play Tema Youth in another friendly match as part of their preparations for the CAF Champions League campaign against WAC. Now, the Ghana Premier League champions will play lower tier side on Saturday, October 2nd, 2021. The match is scheduled for kickoff at 3 p.m. at St. Aquinas Sports Park at Cantonment. Samuel Boyd will use the friendly to assess the readiness of his players ahead of the next CAF Champions League game. Now, Phobia eliminated Guinea outfit CI Kamsa at the Accra Sports Stadium a few weeks back after beating the visitors 2-0 in the first preliminary round. Heart of Folk will visit Wydad on October 17th before hosting the Moroccans 2 weeks time between 22nd and then 23rd. Meanwhile, Accra Heart of Folk earlier this month defeated Tema Youth in the 2-0 win in the preparatory match at the Ajax Park in Legon, with goals coming from Emmanuel Nete and then Patrick Razak. if you want some more sports news, you can go to our website at www.adoanewsonline.com/sports for more sports news, or you can follow us on our social media pages for more sports news. Hello,
The man verified on Twitter is done with his very latest in the world of sports, and the man is the Yao Ampofo Junior.
We just have a minute, but I just want to say this. You didn't even have to tell us we were coming to local sports, because the picture quality, the pack difference, everything just drops down to local bam.
You don't need to be told.
You don't need to be told. I think we have to up our game in some of these things.
I think last season in the Ghana Premier League, we saw a massive boost in picture quality. A lot of young lads have now taken to photojournalism, and they are whipping a lot of pictures for the Ghana Premier League. So let's say in 2-3 years time, those archaic old pictures will be put on one side, and we have new
they need professional training from the likes of Party, Papa Fante, you know, our squad here. So come for some professional training from them. And with that, we'll go on a quick commercial break to come back to our next segment. Maybe I'll go off for them to come in, and I'll join you again later. So we'll turn around. Wait for us. We'll be right back.
CB will make capsules now. Amaka, correct. Why your best mankasa? That's it. Who anyone? Oh, middle. You capsules back on CB men capsules. You see, CB men capsules na make a year.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You name the dada. And one year packaging I the pepper.
Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any biansan wako do ben pegi.
She a painful. Any about town man kwada no fo. Any kwada go ni fie do ye. Enka ho.
Susanna. Ghana man be man tamase.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA aje edwedin kato yato.
Hello, this is Dr. Josephine Nsafo from the Breast Unit Kolebu Teaching Hospital. This year also we are partnering with Sonotech Medical and Diagnostic Center. October is here again. Breast Cancer Awareness Month 2021. The message hasn't changed. Early detection and effective treatment save lives. I hope you've been doing your monthly breast self-examination throughout the year. So I'm just here to remind you that it's time to get your annual breast screening done. And for women 40 years and above, you need to do your mammogram. Breast scans are also very useful for women of all ages. And Sonotech is giving up to 50% discount this year at their Osu, West Hills, and Tema branches. Every year, the breast unit sees about 400 new cases of breast cancer, including a few men, in addition to those already living with the disease. Unfortunately, almost 70% of these are already advanced. This is because people do not come early, and a lot are trying natural, herbal, and alternative remedies which do not work. So we have a lot of unnecessary deaths. But for those who do come early with effective treatments, they have been cured. And I'm happy to say that we have a lot of breast cancer survivors with us. So remember to look for changes in your breast. A lump in your breast or your armpits, and a dimple, a rash, a sore, nipple discharge, especially when it's bloody. And remember that when breast cancer starts, it's usually not painful. Early detection is key. And with effective treatment, should you be diagnosed with breast cancer, your life will be saved. Stay safe.
Water. What you not get your ma? And then so order. The rock you are fire.
Malaria nti abayi wo yejuma bono.
What you are doing it?
Malaria therefore ya o. Enti awo ahire ne customers ni. Wo hu ne se maami aye smart. Ape CB Malakio. Amma ne ba ya odi ko school. She se aduane si berry market chi ni malaria nti a ontimi ni.
Onia, and now Emma when be around to walk. So we malaria test. Maybe woman. And Trabetiwa and the CB Malakio. Yedinuna, Nehama, and now Kikabom Asoneso, I CB Malakio. And no way so dear. And I don't grow. And yet tata shit.
A drawing near ma appeal for about a woman for any quada won't in fear
Susiana, what would you with you?
FD Ashusha sa a jedi and crato imu adia to Musa and
Yeni Masatek, so your kunini roofing industry nim, enti, Saudi roofina, now what Jen Asatek. Asatek will quality long span roofing sheeter, a sign nail free, Tresse, and here so did a dwabomu, now so a team would down so. Pampe Alframa and a whom and to me Asatek quality long span roofing sheets with beautiful bright colors with anti-fading and anti-rusting properties. Tresse, every nache name panso, enti warmer 30-year warranty. Terms and conditions apply. Asatek quality long span roofing sheet dear. Eyama debia, say a warehouse, school, hotel, hospital, sorry, and now say a wawufi. Use Asatek quality nail free long span roofing sheet to be. Now what done to be jinaso, then you know. Or your delivery services, Papa Bia, and found wonderful Kwan Asatek Bema was can order between 3 and 5 working days. Or VIP delivery services as well. 1 day pet now Osaka. Pressure Asatek a chill quine Watama Community 2, Meridian Road, when you could go board warehouse, the bank, Takrade, a few Kuma number 9, or pay a few Kuma Fidelity Bank, no, Voter Regional so or Wakache Tatome, JN Bank and Chenhope. Asatek, sheltering you for life.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing desk at the work premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Hello everyone, my name is Adoatv, a proud ambassador for Sonotech's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's hashtag Pinktober, hashtag Sonotech Goes Pink. Now from the 1st October to the 31st October 2021, at any of the 3 branches of Sonotech, Tema, Osu and West Hills Malls, we are gathering together to get free screening. Yes, I said it's free. And that's not all we have for you. We also have 20% off mammogram testing and 50% off ultrasound. Let's go pink from October the 1st to the 31st, 2021 at Osu, Tema, and West Hills Mall, all Sonotech branches. We are giving hope to save a life. See you there.
break, you're still watching the Ghana Breakfast Show here on Adoatv Television. Thanks so much for staying with us here. It's a Friday, and ladies and gentlemen, the weekend, October 1st, 2021. It's such a blessing to witness such a day like this. 3 months more to Christmas and the end of year. God has been gracious to us. I mean, join me so we can glorify and bless the name of the Almighty God together. It's such a great privilege and an opportunity to witness such a day like this. Please, if you have something in mind, there is this agenda you would want to achieve before the end of the year, don't sleep in bed and expect it's done. No. Fight against anything that becomes an hindrance between you and that particular agenda you would want to achieve. In this life, everything is in your own hands. Sometimes they say patience is the key, but sometimes too, you need to change directions. So, so the fashion today is another opportunity for you to try again, and I bet you this time around you may try, and it may even be better for you than it was yesterday. Let's give it a try once more. We are back again, and this is the Ghana Breakfast Show on Adoatv Television. We are always grateful coming your way. We always come with one agenda, and that is to put smiles on your face. I mean, we start your day for you, and that is why you should always tune into Adoatv Television Monday to Friday, every time from between 6 and 10 a.m. here on Adoatv Television, and we will set your day right for you. You need that smile, you need that mood to start your day on a good note, and that is why we are here. I'm back and still here with the ever babbling lady Julia. We're streaming live on Facebook though, so you could also join us with your thoughts and comments. On Facebook it's Adoatv Ghana, and on YouTube it's Adoatv_GH. Tweet at us at Adoatv_GH, and we'll be glad to read them for you. Lady Julia,
hello.
We are back.
Yes, and I'm particularly worried. If you saw me scrolling on my phone, I'm particularly worried about the flooding situation in Accra. Obviously, Edrumuso. So Monday, Ashanti region. Then we heard of some parts. Was it? I've forgotten which. Bono East. Yes, Bono East. I think on Wednesday and Friday.
Attention is on
Accra.
Greater Accra.
I don't know what is going on in your area where you are. Some are stuck up somewhere because of certain flooding situations. You can send us your comments, suggestions.
We would want to hear from you. I mean, it's an interactive show, so let us hear from you. But it's very serious and pathetic. I keep saying this. I think last Wednesday or so, when 6 persons lost their life as a result of flooding the Ashanti region. This time around, we are experiencing something again of this sort. It's very serious, and we don't even know what assemblies are doing. All the time, we wait till the unfortunate happens, then we try to take actions. We should be proactive rather than being
That's carnation.
Yes, that's carnation over there. This morning, and this is what we have in carnation this morning. The visuals being displayed on your screen.
And if you know carnation very well, you know carnation is like one of the central key places in Accra.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have commuters, we have market women, we have everybody, people coming from Cape Coast,
it's one of the biggest market station in Greater Accra. So you find a lot more people going there this morning, trooping in there for their businesses, others traveling and the likes, and this is what they would have to battle with this morning.
And those who trade there pay daily tickets
to the assembly,
whatever it is, to the assembly for this. And remember the various taxes that we have to pay on our goods, just our goods alone, and even health. I mean, certain services like even health service tax is even affecting some of these things, and we still have to. Yes, I'm not taking the concern or the burden that we, or the role that we play as well off, but I'm saying that it's a two you know,
we are
it's
fair.
two-way affair.
Yeah.
Our money's worth, and also we ourselves, the rubbish,
the garbages, we deliberately dump them in
because
gutters.
it's not your house.
The perception has always been that, well, let me just pour it in this gutter,
It's
and
not
the
my
next
house.
minute the rain water will carry it away to some other place, and I wouldn't be affected. But I bet you it will go back and it will come back and hit you so hard.
Yes, see.
The effect of this is very devastating. You should know the effect is very devastating. Individuals, even lives are lost. That is the most pathetic part of this. For properties to get destroyed, it's very painful, but not as painful as losing a human life. It's very serious in as much as
because of the time that it rained, I got worried about those who sleep, you know, in certain structures, just the
thatch structures and the likes. Even those who spend their nights outside,
in the street, and
sleeping in the
mind you,
streets.
it's not just irresponsible behavior to find yourself on the streets at night. Some people are just traveling and transit.
All the way.
Don't have
anywhere
the
to
time
spend.
they get to Accra, the time they go to Carnation, they can't. It would rather be advisable just to put your head somewhere, and then when dawn breaks,
then you continue.
And all these people got affected. All these people got affected, and this is what we have. How low should we? Are we waiting till this gets? Do we want to hear 10 people dead, 20
losing
people
their
dead?
lives?
Do we want
a repetition of what
stops.
happened at Circle sometime in 2015?
Exactly.
And the thing too is the Ghana Meteorological Agency has also issued a warning indicating that at the peak of, that was during, I think, July, August, if my memory serves me right, that at the peak of this month there'll be heavy rainfall till the end of the year. So what measures,
because we didn't see it in May, June,
we thought that
we
is
thought, oh, we are safe.
It wasn't coming this season, and here we are looking at what is happening, what measures were being put in place to ensure that, as this warning has been issued by the Ghana Meteorological Agency, we put in place better measures to mitigate some of these things that we are witnessing. But we would wait and see the unfortunate happening before we decide taking action against some of these things. And it's very bad. But in as much as we're talking about this, it's very serious and very important that we also take very good care of ourselves. Before you step out there, you should know that in times like this, especially in Great Accra, because sometime last year, October, like this, for instance, I went out to report, and it was just like this as we are witnessing. There may be many gutters beneath this water which you would never know, because probably if not been to that area before, it was in Adabraka, and I've never been to such area before, so I never knew there was a gutter there. And whilst reporting, having my stand up done there, before I could realize I was in a gutter. I mean, it was such, I would say, the really funny scene, but at the same time very sad
and painful.
Painful, yeah. I got myself injured. Very painful there. I got myself injured. So in as much as we're talking about this, before you step out there, you should also be very much concerned about the area you're visiting, especially when you know it has rained in that particular environment. And there are most of these places that the gutters, the water overflows its banks in some rivers. Even the Odo River, like this, for instance, you may not even know there is such a drain over there, and you may fall in it and you don't know where you would end up. So it's very important we talk about this. It's very important the NNCE also intensify its education on this, and it's very important we, the individuals, we, the citizens in the country, also pay particular attention to some of these as we keep on also.
So we see the rubbish floating.
The rubbish also floating over there. This is a clear indication that some of these things are the causes of what we are witnessing. And it's very important too that the various assemblies also enlarging some of the drains we have in our area. The drains are just small, so the little rainfall, it overflows its banks, and this
especially
is what it's
for the number of people we have in Accra.
You know, Accra is
the most populous in the country.
Per the 2021 population census, we have the most populous now in the country. So you could imagine, and at every point in time, every small land at all, any individual finds would want to erect a building over there and live, without considering the fact that this may be a waterway, and if it rains, I'll be much affected by it. Well, we don't pay much attention to that. All that we want is that, well, menya baby is me dying, menya baby di too, and that is it. It's very bad, but we will keep on pressing hard on the government to put in place proper measures so that we'll be able to mitigate most of these things we've been witnessing. And for as long as my memory could serve me, I mean, ever since I was born, it's been like this all the time. It's been like this all. There's not even a single season whereby we would never witness any of this, especially in Accra and Kumasi, the Greater Accra and the Ashanti region. It's very bad. We pay much attention to some of these things.
I would like you to reiterate on that particular topic again, cautioning people be in the right attire.
Yeah.
Especially with the boots. Flowing water can carry anything. Sharp objects, pointed objects. Be in the right attire. Wellington boots to save your legs, to guard your feet, to protect your skin, even infections, certain things you never know.
It's very important we pay attention to all of these things. So just as I was iterating, and let me reiterate that in as much as we would want government to put in place proper measures for us so that some of these things wouldn't be happening, it has happened. What then do? You would also have to protect yourself so well so that you don't get yourself injured, even to the extent of losing your life. So we would want to hear from you. You could send us your messages on Facebook, because we're streaming live there, and for our global audience, it's an opportunity for you to join the show. It's an interactive one, so let us hear from you on our Facebook page. The WhatsApp number is also on your screen. Let us hear from you. You could tweet at us at Adoatv_GH. Let us hear from you. What's happening in your community? What's happening in your vicinity? And we would want to delve more into that. But I think this is where time would permit us for this particular one, because Sonotech is ready to tell us more about the free breast screening in October. This month is the pink month.
Pink month.
Yes, the pink month. So anytime at all you would want to step out, let's see that sort of pink in you. Let's see that sort of pink in you there. Being it some brochure, you don't know brochure, you call it
the brooch.
Yes, brooch.
The pink brooch.
The pink brooch.
The pink brooch. I think put on the pink color to show your support.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
For this breast cancer.
I'm very much particular about the free breast screening in October, and I think kudos to Sonotech Medical and Diagnostic Center for doing this, because there are many individuals who would want to have their breast screened, but because they are not able to pay for it, afford the money involved, is the reason for which they don't get the opportunity to have it done. So this would give many of these individuals the opportunity to have their breast screened, so that
and that's not all.
Not at all.
That's not all.
Not at all.
And just know that the free breast screening is not just for today.
No.
The first day. It's running from
October
1st, that is today, till the 31st.
Exactly.
I think that's a Sunday. Yes. Throughout that period. Again, we have 50% discount on all breast ultrasound. And if you heard me earlier, I told you they have 2D, 3D, 4D ultrasound. That's the duration there, 1st to 31st of October, and 20% discount on all mammograms. If you want to know what mammograms are, just keep
Stick
on.
and stay.
Stay.
They'll be joining very shortly.
20% discount on that. Yeah, just to say. And thank you very much. We give hope.
And save lives as well. So you would want to post a picture on this. You would want to create awareness on breast cancer. And if you take that picture and you want to post, remember to add the hashtag pink it out, hashtag Pinktober, hashtag breast cancer awareness, hashtag Sonotech goes pink, and hashtag add it for me.
Breast cancer sucks.
Exactly, so that would help create awareness on most of these things. It's very serious. I mean, the consequences of this is very dire, a very dire one.
And the pains,
pains, P-E-I-I-I-I-S, pains.
The pains.
On that note, I think we would go for a very quick turnaround, and yes, we'll go for a very quick detour. When we return, Sonotech will be joining Lady Julia, and we'll delve more into this for you. Please stick and stay with us. We'll be right back.
Yeni Masatek, so your kunini roofing industry nim enti Saudi roofina na wadwen Asatek. Asatek wo quality long span roofing sheeter esan nail free. Trese ehia so de dadwabo mu nanso etimu dan no so a pampe amframa anahum entumi nya no hwe. Asatek quality long span roofing sheets with beautiful bright colors with anti-fading and anti-rusting properties. Trese enwe na ache na empanso enti wo ma 30-year warranty. Terms and conditions apply. Asatek quality long span roofing sheet dear. Eyama debia, say a warehouse, school, hotel, hospital, sorry, ana say a wawufi. Use Asatek quality nail free long span roofing sheet to be. Now what dando be jinaso na yino ho. Your delivery services papa bia. Enfa honde for kwa Asatek bema wasaka order between 3 and 5 working days. Our VIP delivery services so one day pet na Osaka. Hwehwe Asatek achiu kwan Watama 22 Meridian Road woni Cocoa Board Warehouse na ben Takrade Efiekuma number 9 wo ben Efiekuma Fidelity Bank no Volta region so wo wakache Tatome GN Bank and Chen Hope. Asatek, sheltering you for life.
Water, but you're not getting your and that's all I'm order. You are fine.
Malaria nti aba yi waye juma bono. Malaria therefore ya o. Enti awo ahire ne customers ni. Wa hu ne se maami aye smart. Aba CB Malakio. Amma ne ba ya odi ko school. She se aduane si berry market chi ani malaria nti a ontimi ni.
And now Emma will be around to walk. So we have malaria test. Maybe one. And Trebetua and the CB Malakio. Yedinuna, Nehama, and now Kikabum Asoneso, I CB Malakio. And no way so dear. And I don't grow. I yet tata shit.
A drawing near my appeal for about a woman for any quada one in feed.
Susiana, what would you win?
FD Ashusha sa a jedi and crato you mu adia to Musa and
Hello, this is Dr. Josephine Safo from the Breast Unit Kolebu Teaching Hospital. This year also we are partnering with Sonotech Medical and Diagnostic Center. October is here again. Breast Cancer Awareness Month 2021. The message hasn't changed. Early detection and effective treatment save lives. I hope you've been doing your monthly breast self-examination throughout the year. So I'm just here to remind you that it's time to get your annual breast screening done. And for women 40 years and above, you need to do your mammogram. Breast scans are also very useful for women of all ages. And Sonotech is giving up to 50% discount this year at their Osu, West Hills, and Tema branches. Every year, the breast unit sees about 400 new cases of breast cancer, including a few men, in addition to those already living with the disease. Unfortunately, almost 70% of these are already advanced. This is because people do not come early, and a lot are trying natural, herbal, and alternative remedies which do not work. So we have a lot of unnecessary deaths. But for those who do come early with effective treatments, they have been cured, and I'm happy to say that we have a lot of breast cancer survivors with us. So remember to look for changes in your breast. A lump in your breast or your armpits, and a dimple, a rash, a sore, nipple discharge, especially when it's bloody. And remember that when breast cancer starts, it's usually not painful. Early detection is key. And with effective treatment, should you be diagnosed with breast cancer, your life will be saved. Stay safe.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 05092 57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing desk at Stepwork premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
CB will make up now. I'm not correct. Why your best mankasa? That's it. You want anyone? Oh, middle. You captures about one for CB men capsules. You ready? Me see CB men capsules and make a year.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You knew the dada. And 1 year packaging I had the
Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any biansan wako do pegi.
She are painful. Any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada won di fie do ye. En ka ho.
Susanna. Ghana man be man tamase.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA aje edwedin kato yato.
John, who fini wow, Eddie, what boy juma. I check a roofing now. Oh, you fell one casa from Asatec. Oh, na same roofing is up a bit nice. Keke. Why the catch you? Asatec roofing sheet dear, and your nice keke with the bodan swa a chee and rina chain. They want to call us a hood of a fair be bree. No no free roofing sheet no dear. Who near that will be out. Now so the bodan swa a hero supampe. What means to trauma send your open roofing sheet no. You try the salmon pepe. Mama po Asatec money there. One of my technical advice na estimate free or professional installers so where your on-site installation ne boss crowd da pa. Oh yes, quality ne bo da feminine. Asatec 5 days pay na musa kan order na wo year after sales service papa bi so. Hwehwe Asatec Watema Community 2 Meridian Road Ebenkoko Board Warehouse Western Region. So Asatec Takrade Anaji yene Princeland Hotel and di hwene mu and na Volta Region yewo Akachi South District Assembly kwan so ha.
Hello everyone, my name is Adoatv, a proud ambassador for Sonotech's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's hashtag Pinktober, hashtag Sonotech Goes Pink. Now from the 1st October to the 31st October 2021, at any of the 3 branches of Sonotech, Tema, Osu and West Hills Malls, we are gathering together to get free screening. Yes, I said it's free. And that's not all we have for you. We also have 20% off mammogram testing and 50% off ultrasound. Let's go pink from October the 1st to the 31st, 2021 at Osu, Tema, and West Hills Mall, all Sonotech branches. We are giving hope to save a life. See you there.
Hello, this is Dr. Josephine Safu from the Breast Unit Kolebu Teaching Hospital. This year also we are partnering with Sonotech Medical and Diagnostic Center. October is here again. Breast Cancer Awareness Month 2021. The message hasn't changed. Early detection and effective treatment save lives. I hope you've been doing your monthly breast self-examination throughout the year. So I'm just here to remind you that it's time to get your annual breast screening done. And for women 40 years and above, you need to do your mammogram. Breast scans are also very useful for women of all ages. And Sonotech is giving up to 50% discount this year at their Osu, West Hills, and Tema branches. Every year, the breast unit sees about 400 new cases of breast cancer, including a few men, in addition to those already living with the disease. Unfortunately, almost 70% of these are already advanced. This is because people do not come early, and a lot are trying natural, herbal, and alternative remedies which do not work. So we have a lot of unnecessary deaths. But for those who do come early with effective treatments, they have been cured, and I'm happy to say that we have a lot of breast cancer survivors with us. So remember to look for changes in your breast, a lump in your breast or your armpits, and a dimple, a rash, a sore, nipple discharge, especially when it's bloody. And remember that when breast cancer starts, it's usually not painful. Early detection is key, and with effective treatment, should you be diagnosed with breast cancer, your life will be saved. Stay safe.
Welcome back, my beautiful and special viewers. I know that you are keen in your seats, as I am, because if you can see a little change here. Yes, I had to change my top because it is the pink month, and we say Sonotech goes pink. Ghana goes pink in October, so I had to do the needful, and I'm here in pink to signify the breast cancer awareness month, as myself and Isaac Otu did to you earlier on. Yes, Ghana is not just the only country. It's been actually something going on throughout the world. I just want to read something I saw, and I think is very, very, very important. It says that there are about 1.7 million new cases. 1.7 million cases, and that means that this is very important. It is alarming, it is dangerous, and we have to look at who is susceptible, me, you, who is at risk, and that's why we are here. So starting on the very first day, we want to bring this very important issue to your table. We want to make you aware from the very first day to the 31st of October, and I also want you to know that 522,000 deaths are recorded each year. 522,000. I'm not saying 522 people. 522,000 deaths are recorded from breast cancer each year, and that's coming from Globocan 2012. You can Google them, and they have more information. But right here in my studio, I have some honorable people. I like using the word honorable because when somebody has done something that deserves honor, they need to be given that due respect, accorded the honor. So I have some beautiful women here in pink as well. So we've taken out all the men it's not that it doesn't concern them, but we want them to sit and watch and pay attention so that they are able to digest the facts and the issues that are going to come out from this discussion, and they'll be able to use it. You know, when men usually take something on, it becomes a normal thing. Then it doesn't become something relegated to the background. So as we invite our men in to listen to us, we are also inviting you, my viewer, whoever you are, whether you're a child, whether you are an adult, whether you're a Christian or you're a Muslim, whether you're black, whether you're white, whoever you are, whatever race, religion, nationality, please, please, just stay tuned while we go through this particular segment. With me here is Dr. Grace Bachman. Hello, doctor. Good morning.
Good morning.
I like your smile, even though it's behind a mask. I think doctor's smile is infectious, so the mask cannot hide that, right? Doctor, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
And
Thank
I have
you for
the opportunity to say Happy New Month.
Happy New Month to you too.
Thank you.
And all those watching us.
Hi. How is Sonotech?
We are good, and I'm sure all the people at Sonotech by now are glued to their seats watching Adoatv by now, so they are all very fine.
I'm happy to have more viewers this morning, but I hope you become our viewers for life as well. Stay tuned. I also have with me one beautiful woman, and she, just looking at her, brings so much inspiration to this studio right now, and you know why in a minute. Hello, Madame Gina. If I have the name, Gina Kuma Jaga. Hey, when it comes to certain names, you have to take your time. So, Madame Gina Kuma Jaga. Correct.
Correct.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And how's your morning so far?
Very well.
Did the rain stop you?
No. I think I took off very early, so.
Okay, I thought you were staying in the estate, so. Yeah, because I thought you were going to train maybe estates, maybe cantonments, or anyway. I'm happy to have you two here, and Adoatv is also happy to have you. We bring good things to life, and we're going to jump straight into the topic: breast cancer. Doctor, what is breast cancer? The viewers want to know. We've heard of it: breast cancer. What is breast?
Okay, let me say a very big thank you again to you and to all of you here at Adoatv. For us as Sonotech, we really appreciate the relationship that we've had with you over the years. I think for the past 3 years, we always have this campaign ongoing with you, and we really appreciate it. Although we've been talking about breast cancer every year, there is even an urgent need for us to keep talking about it, because more people are getting diagnosed because of the awareness creation. Although more people are getting diagnosed, we are still seeing a lot of people hiding in their corners because they are scared of treatment and all that. And so for us as Sonotech and Adoatv partnering with us, we think that this month, October, for all of us, we need to join hands so that we get more people to come out and get screened. You never know who you are saving. I mean, before the show, I was just telling Gina about a 19-year-old girl that I saw the picture just about 2 days ago, with very
19.
Yes. And I mean, it was, when you see those cases, very, very emotional. You're very sad about it, because you know that some of these things, when they are seen early, a lot of things can be done about it. So I'm sure someone will be watching, and it's like we're always talking about breast cancer, but there is an urgent need for us to talk about it, because people are still grasping the message, and so we need to hammer it down very, very well. So now to your question. When we talk about breast cancer, I mean, cancer is cancer, and then there's the breast. So cancer of the breast is simple terms. When we talk about cancer, usually we are saying that the cells are dividing out of control. I mean, God in his own wisdom, when he created us, designed the body such that there is a way that the cells in the body divides. There's a natural way that it's being regulated. So there are certain times that some of the cells in the body will die. There are times that new ones will be formed and all that. There's a fine balance between the way that cell division goes on in our body, all the parts of our body. But when the cells become cancerous, they are dividing out of proportion.
Okay.
So now you have a lot of abnormal cells just dividing without...
So like overpopulation in your body.
Exactly. So once it happens in the breast, then we say that there is breast cancer. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Most of the cases of breast cancer will be primary. Primary meaning that it starts from the breast. There are some of the other cancers that will happen elsewhere in your body that can also send some cancer cells to the breast. In that case, we say it's secondary breast cancer. But most of the breast cancers we find will be primary, where the cancer cell starts from the breast itself. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So we do have, as you're saying, cancer is like a cell that is dividing, over dividing, it's over multiplying. Yes, itself. Is that supposed also to mean that there is a time at which like it should have over multiplied? So because what we usually see about breast cancer is a bad breast. We see the pictures, a breast that is deformed, some very swollen, looking sore and all that. So at what stage does it, is it that it gets there, like it goes all the way, like at once it gets bad, or it starts from somewhere? So I'm asking this because people are asking, looking at my breast, okay, so it looks good, it looks okay, I think I'm fine, and then we just move on, or there is something more that we have to be looking out for.
Okay, so I mean, I'm happy you mentioned that. Does it just suddenly become like sometimes the bad pictures that we see around with the big ulcer and all that, the breast very deformed? I mean, once you are seeing something like that, it's an advanced stage of the disease. So usually in breast cancer, we say there are 5 stages. So when the cell starts dividing abnormally, it can start in any part of the breast. So when you look at the anatomy, let's talk a little anatomy this morning. When you look at how the breast looks like, there is the lobes in the breast. Those lobes help with the milk production, and then the lobes are connected by small ducts to the nipple. So your nipple, and then the areola, the black area, and then the nipple. There are small ducts that connect your lobes to. So you see they open in the nipple black area. And then there's also fatty tissue. There's connective tissue around these glands in the breast.
And this is normal for every human being, male or female.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the men also have breast. But the thing with the male breast is that it's not well developed. Because of course they don't have any physiological need for it. Exactly. So we all have the same structures in our breast, but definitely the man's breast is not as developed as the woman's breast.
Well, I've seen some. They look developed, but I don't know where.
I know what you're talking about. So when breast cancer starts, it can start in any of these cells in the breast that we've talked about. And it can usually just start very, very small. So at that stage, you might not even notice anything happening.
Pain, nothing.
Nothing. It's a silent process that has started. And at that point, we'll say that it's stage 0. Then you move on to what we call stage 1. Now the cells...
Before you go to stage 1, so that we move like in an organized manner. So at stage 0, can it be diagnosed?
It can be diagnosed, but it's very difficult. So we'll get to the point where we are talking about diagnosis. Usually stage 0, stage 1, very early parts of the disease. So there are certain things that we can do to diagnose the cancer at that stage. Yes.
Then we move on to stage 1.
Stage 1. So now stage 1, you still have a lump in the cells are still dividing and growing. But then now there's a small lump, probably less than 2 millimeters. Very small still. Now you are going to stage 2, usually between 2 and 5. And then stage 3, usually more than 5. There's a big lump. And then when you get to stage 4, you are talking about breast cancer that has spread all over the body. So sometimes it can spread to the brain, it can spread to the lungs, it can spread to the abdomen, it can spread to the bones, sometimes the backbone itself. So that is stage 4.
That's what makes it killer.
Yes. When it gets to that point, it's usually very difficult to, control it. So stage 3, stage 3 and stage 4, we will usually say that that's the advanced stages of breast cancer. So at that point, and unfortunately in Ghana, that's usually the point at which people are presenting to the hospital. So this last year, for instance, Kolebu mentioned that they diagnosed about 400,000 new cases, and about 70% of them are reporting very late. You know, because people are sitting, they are not examining the breast, they are waiting till they see something very bad, you know, showing before they present. And at that stage, your options with treatment very limited. And even if you are able to go through treatment, your 5-year survival also becomes low. So when you look at the very early stages, 0 and 1, you can have a 5-year survival of up to about 100%, almost. So meaning that stage 0, stage 1 for 5 years, you'll still be around, most likely. But the survival rate goes down as the disease progresses. So it goes down all the way to about 22% when you get to stage 4. So your survival rate at that point becomes very, very low. And that's one of the reasons why we are like making all this noise, because stage 1, stage 0, if you are not actively looking for it in your breast, you will not find it. Because you are walking around, you think you are okay, you think everything is okay. You don't know if you don't go and look for it.
Okay, so we just had a new term, 5 years survival rate, and that got me worried. What's 5 years survival rate?
Okay, so
what does that mean?
So 5 year survival rate, meaning that from the time you are diagnosed to 5 years after your diagnosis or when you start treatment, will you still be around? So if it is early and then the interventions are put in place, you go through treatment, stage 0, stage 1, most likely your 5-year survival rate will be about 100%. Most likely you survive even more. There are people 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. So it's very high. So that's what we mean by the 5-year survival rate. Whether the percentage of people who would still be around after 5 years when they've been diagnosed of having breast cancer.
So what are the treatment options?
Okay. So when it comes to treatment of breast cancer, usually there are so many options. And then, as I said earlier on, your treatment would also be tailored for you specifically. It's not general as in once you have breast cancer, then definitely you have to do this or you have to do this. All the cancers behave in a very different way. So even before you get to the point of discussing treatment with your doctor, sure Gina will share some of the experience. You go through a whole lot.
I'll come to it.
Yes, you go through a whole lot. You go through the some of the investigations. You do a biopsy. So many things to the point where now it is diagnosed. And once it's diagnosed, even the cancers, there are so many types. So the pathologist will look at the type of cancer that you have. And once all those things have been specified, there are a number of options that your doctor will discuss with you. Some of the options are targeted at treating the cancer just in the breast, and then some of them are also targeted at treating the cancer in the whole body as well. Yes. So one of the main things that we'll do is definitely surgery. And I know that when we talk about surgery, sometimes people don't want to hear because our breast very, very important to us. It has several needs. We don't want to lose it no matter what. But the good news is that once it is seen early, you don't have to lose the whole breast. That's the thing. You don't have to do like a complete mastectomy. No. Sometimes if it's very, very small, they can just take a certain part of the breast, not the whole breast. Even if the whole breast has to be taken off, the good news is that plastic surgeons can also reconstruct something beautiful for you. If you are walking and you are dressed, nobody would get to know that. I mean, there's nothing there. So I think the benefits of surgery really outweigh the fears that people have. And that's one of the reasons why this year we are saying that give hope, save lives. I mean, the more we are giving hope to people that this is not like a death sentence, we'll get more people coming around to get screened. So the first thing is about surgery. And the surgery, there are different types depending on the stage of the cancer. Then the other thing is radiation. So radiation therapy is more like X-ray, but higher doses of it that is focused on the breast to also kill some of the cancer cells. Then there is also chemotherapy. So these are medications that are given to kill the cancer cells in the whole body. So not just the breast. That one too, sometimes people complain a lot about problems such as losing your hair, your skin becoming dark. I mean, when you interact with some of the people who have had it, the process is difficult. But the good news is that once you go through the treatment, everything starts coming back again to normal. So your skin that you are scared of becoming black, it clears up, and your skin is good now. The hair that you lose because of the chemo drugs, you get your hair back on. So it's not as bad as, it's not a permanent damage. It's not a permanent damage. And then there's also what we call hormonal therapies. Usually our breast development is influenced by certain hormones in our body. So you have your estrogen and your progesterone hormones. So some of the cancer cells respond very much to some of these hormones. So it makes them even become more aggressive. So there are certain medications that are targeted at counteracting the effect of the hormonal action on the cancer cells. So there are, and now there are newer treatment modalities that are
all right. We'll come back to this. We just want to go for a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll allow doctor to finish that statement, and then I'll properly introduce Gina. Okay, so don't go anywhere. It's very important you stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hello, this is Dr. Josephine Nsafo from the Breast Unit Kolebu Teaching Hospital. This year also we are partnering with Sonotech Medical and Diagnostic Center. October is here again. Breast Cancer Awareness Month 2021. The message hasn't changed. Early detection and effective treatment save lives. I hope you've been doing your monthly breast self-examination throughout the year. So I'm just here to remind you that it's time to get your annual breast screening done. And for women 40 years and above, you need to do your mammogram. Breast scans are also very useful for women of all ages. And Sonotech is giving up to 50% discount this year at their Osu, West Hills, and Tema branches. Every year, the breast unit sees about 400 new cases of breast cancer, including a few men, in addition to those already living with the disease. Unfortunately, almost 70% of these are already advanced. This is because people do not come early, and a lot are trying natural, herbal, and alternative remedies which do not work. So we have a lot of unnecessary deaths. But for those who do come early with effective treatments, they have been cured, and I'm happy to say that we have a lot of breast cancer survivors with us. So remember to look for changes in your breast, a lump in your breast or your armpits, and a dimple, a rash, a sore, nipple discharge, especially when it's bloody. And remember that when breast cancer starts, it's usually not painful. Early detection is key, and with effective treatment, should you be diagnosed with breast cancer, your life will be saved. Stay safe.
So thank you for holding on with us. We're going to go straight to Madam Gina here. Gina Kuma Jaka. Yes. And as strong as the name is, it shows you the caliber of woman that Gina here strong is. Woman. A very strong woman to have survived breast cancer. She's a survivor. A strong woman who has survived, and I believe that you want to hear from someone who has survive. She wants to give you, we are going to map a road network for you to follow so that you not be afraid, you not let fear take a better hold of you, and then before we know it, it's gone too soon. So, Madam Gina, welcome again. I am very happy when I see survivors of certain situations, and I like to see a survivor in pink. It means hope. There's more hope. There's so much hope. And you look bright and beautiful.
Thank you.
Madam Gina, I just want to ask this very first question. At what age were you diagnosed?
I was 30 years.
You were 30 years.
Yes, please.
So, doctor, do we usually have, is there like an age that is more susceptible to breast cancer?
So usually we'll say that definitely as you are increasing in age, generally your risk increases. Initially, we would have put the high risk age at between 40 to 49 years. But now we are seeing more young people. Gina was 30. There are people who are 20.
You even talked about 19.
Yes. And then so although we say that the high risk is between 40 to 49, now more young people are even being diagnosed.
Yeah. Okay. And how was your cancer initially diagnosed?
Okay, it started with a painful lump in my breast. And then I consulted a physician. Initially, nothing was seen after a series of ultrasound scans. But then when the doctor asked that I keep observing the breast for further changes, I decided to go online and then look up for indications for lump in breast. I think that was when I saw breast cancer popping up, and I decided to seek for further opinion, like a different opinion from a different physician. And amazingly, when I go to that second doctor and I told him that I suspect I have breast cancer, so I needed him to do all the available tests that are there just for me to be sure that it isn't it. He asked how old I was, and I told him I was 30 years. And then he bluntly told me, no, I was too young to have breast cancer. And that didn't go down well with me actually. So I sought a third opinion and then a fourth opinion. So it was a fourth physician that actually took the case serious, because I was getting so worried. I was taking antibiotics after antibiotics, but the pain was getting more unbearable and the lump was growing bigger. So this doctor requested for a complimentary mammogram and ultrasound scan. And the mammogram didn't pick anything, but the ultrasound scan did. So I had to do a biopsy. The first one also didn't pick anything cancerous. But the doctor, after 3 days, called me back that he wanted me to get a second biopsy done, because he wasn't so comfortable with the result from the first one, because he's seen it several times. He's seen this kind of symptoms severally, and he wasn't comfortable with the result, but he would only be okay if the second result comes with the same indication or impression. So the second biopsy came out and it was breast cancer.
Wow.
From a different facility.
From a different fourth doctor.
So mine was a series of misdiagnoses until I was finally diagnosed.
So by then, what stage was it?
It was thought to be stage 1.
Stage 1.
Yeah, that was from the biopsy, the first pathology report. But when I had the lumpectomy and the pathology report came, there were 2 different kinds of cancers in there. So I'm sure doctor will go into details on that one. But it was one was DCIS and the other one was colon cancer. So the DCIS, I'm told, is not invasive, but the colon is invasive but not aggressive.
All right. Okay. So, Doc, I'm coming back to you on that. I heard a whole lot of words.
You're not using a lot
of things. Can you please help us on that?
What Gina was saying was a lumpectomy. You know, we said that she said stage 1, and that is very, very small. So then in that case, you don't have to do a mastectomy where you are taking the whole thing, but you just take a lump. You just the lump out and take some small nice tissue around it off. So that's just a lumpectomy. And she also used another word, ductal carcinoma in situ, DCIS.
The only word I know there is the ductal.
That is very good, the duct.
Okay.
So it means it was, you know, we're talking about the duct that open.
Yes.
So it just tells you that that is where it was sitting.
Okay.
And usually at that one, we even say it is a stage 0. It's usually just in the tube like that, very, very tiny, very small. So it's very early.
All right. All right. And she talked about being 30 and even a doctor writing her off just because of her age. Are there other risk factors the doctor should have looked at?
Okay. So, you know, I earlier on said that at first we would say 40 to 49. I mean, some years back, anyone like Gina coming to you, if there was a lump in the breast cancer might not necessarily be the first thing you think about. Okay. But even in some years past, I was just reading about a type of cancer in a 2-year-old girl in Canada. And that's a very, very rare juvenile type.
Ooh.
Yes, 2-year-old, and she's still around now. So I think now we are coming to realize that no matter your age, once you are a woman, you have breast, to a certain point, you have that risk. Okay. So definitely anyone who sees you has to do due diligence and rule out any form of cancer at all once there is any issue with the breast. One of the main risk factors is definitely because you're a woman. Although we've said that it's common, we can see it in men as well. We said their breast is not as developed as the woman. So the more breast tissue that you have, of course, the higher your risk. So you being a woman and you increasing in age, the older you are getting, the more possible that you get breast cancer. And then we also mentioned that as the breast is developing, the breast starts developing whilst you're in your mother's womb actually. About the 5th week, the breast has started developing already. And it keeps developing throughout puberty. And the hormone estrogen and progesterone still comes back into play here. So it's affecting how the lobes are growing. It's affecting how the ducts are growing. So all these hormonal effects on the breast as you are growing old increases your risk. So for instance, when you start your menses early, what we call early menarche. So usually, sometimes now we're even having 8 years, 10 years, they're having their menses already. 9. So we usually say if it is earlier than 12 years, then you have a high risk because during your menstrual periods, there are very high surges of some of these hormones. And the higher the hormone levels, remember that it's putting too much pressure on the breast in terms of division and all that. So once you are starting your menses early, it means you're going to have so many years ahead of you that you are exposed to these hormones. So then your risk also goes up. Still with the hormonal interplay, when you have a late menopause, so later than 55 years, for instance, then it means you still have so many years that you are exposed to the influence of all these hormones on your breast.
And listening to these risk factors, in my head, I'm hearing things that I do not have a direct cause over. I don't have a hand in. I don't have a choice deciding when to start my menses. I don't have a choice when deciding when to enter into menopause. Are there certain causes of breast cancer that are directly my fault?
Okay.
Yes.
So that's a good question. As you rightly said, most of the ones that we were initially mentioning are risk factors that are non-modifiable. So usually that's how we term it. These are things that you cannot do anything about it. Whether you like it or not, you're a woman. Whether you like it or not, you're going to have your menses. You have a menopause. You have no control over the age at which you're going to have your menopause. You have no control over those things. However, there are few things that you can have control over, and those ones we say they are modifiable risk factors. You can modify them to some point when it comes to reducing your risk. So the first one that we generally say is that know what your risk is, personal risk. So do you have a family history of breast cancer? Once you have a family history, then of course your risk, especially your first degree relatives, then your risk goes up. knowing your family history and knowing your personal risk is important because then you are able to have a plan with your doctor in terms of how frequent you are supposed to have your checks, whether for you, even the age that we recommend mammograms, should it be earlier for you, ultrasounds, how frequent should you be doing it? So the first thing you can do for every woman listening is to know your risk. Sometimes it's not just breast cancer in the family, there are other cancers, maybe ovarian cancer, cervical cancer. There are a number of cancers that are sometimes linked to breast cancer. So if you have certain cancers in the family, it's important for you to ask questions and know. If your mother has had breast cancer before, you need to know. And that helps you know your personal risk. The other thing is for you to generally check your weight. So obesity.
Obesity seems to be the cause of
a lot of things. So a lot of things, and it's not even just only breast cancer. Several cancers.
Yes.
Obesity increases your risk. There is a correlation with like the fatty tissue and all this hormone interplay and all that. So the high fat you have in your body, the more obese you are, the higher your risk of getting not just breast cancer but a lot of other cancers. So we're encouraging people that as you are growing, most times in your life, try and have a normal BMI, what we call the body mass index. Try and keep a very normal body mass index as you are growing, because it helps you in terms of your general health and reduces your risk to a lot of other cancers. So that is one. And that definitely comes in line with your diet. You know, some people like their red meat. Some people like
chop better.
Yes. Some people can eat pow. Some
Gina,
people can eat pow. So when it comes to diet, what we can also do is, more of our grains, cutting down too much carbohydrates, too much fat, and all that. So, and also exercise is also important. Yeah, definitely every week, or at least 5 times in a week, brisk exercise, 30 minutes, to the point where you are sweating. It helps generally to reduce your risk for some of these things. And then smoking. Smoking doesn't only increase your risk for breast cancer, but a lot of other cancers as well. So those are some of the few things that you can do to reduce your risk. But the unfortunate thing is that actually a lot of people that are being diagnosed, most of them don't have any risk. Most of them. I don't know which risk factors that Gina will fall on.
I was coming to her on that.
Surprisingly, a lot of people don't have any risk.
Was there any you could identify with, or any that the doctors were able to identify with? Maybe family history?
No.
None.
I think my only history is the fact that I'm a woman. Because there is no known family history. I had my menses at 15 years. I wasn't obese. I gave birth in time, at least I was 22 years. And I gave exclusive breastfeeding, so I breastfed. And my general lifestyle, it wasn't that bad. I tried to eat well. So generally, I think it's just because I'm a woman.
Well, because the fate knew you could handle it.
Probably.
Perhaps.
She's a strong woman.
She's a strong woman.
She's a strong woman.
Kuma Jaga.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, how did you feel when you received it?
That day, I felt many things. It was mixed emotion.
Okay.
I was confused. I was sad. But I was more angry. Angry at myself because when I noticed the lump in 2017, I took it lightly, very, very lightly. Okay, for close to 3 months, I was just massaging it with ointment and oils and, you know. So I was angry at myself and then angry at the diagnostic equipment that misdiagnosed me, and then the doctors that didn't really take my symptoms seriously to go deeper to ensure I mean, whatever was in there was really dictated. So it was more of anger because I knew then I didn't know my prognosis as to my chance of survival. I didn't know what was going to happen. But then I knew that if it was too late, then I had myself to blame. If it was too late for me to have a chance for a cure, then it meant I messed up. I messed up because, I mean, 2017 and I didn't know anything about symptoms of breast cancer. I mean, it was so, for lack of better way, like so stupid of me to not have known. And I was very angry, as if you ask me.
My producer, Selassie, he likes doing this a lot, but I'm not surprised the question is coming from him. He wants to know how men can help women. But it's in connection with my next question. As in support coming from the family. Did you receive any support? And how? Wow. I know it's difficult. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it at all. But I know that whenever there is a support system, it helps. So did you have that kind of support system from the family?
Yes, I did. I think spiritual support was there, financial, there was that support. But when it comes to the emotional side, I was the one supporting them.
I can imagine.
I was forced to be strong for all of us, and that made my journey quite more difficult.
You were married by then?
I was married by then.
So how was your husband?
You know, men will not easily show, like, express their emotion, but I knew the guy was hit hard because I had just had some complications after CS. Like, I went to the surgery like 4 times for some aftermath. So,
Jiga.
Trust this woman.
so barely after 2 years and breast cancer, I know it was devastating for everyone that cared and loved me. So I had to put up this strong face and strong stance that it's going to be fine. I was going to be well. I've survived a lot of bad things in the past, and this will not be an exception. You know.
Let me bounce this question back to you, doctor, because I know Selassie is still not satisfied. I know him. How men can help their women to prevent breast cancer?
Okay.
And I know he's not talking from the medical.
Oh no, you know what? That's a very good and important question.
Don't blow his head.
No, it's true. It's true. Because surprisingly, a lot of women would come after their partners have probably felt something inside their breast. Even some of the survivors that we like. So this campaign, we have a number of survivors aside Gina that we are doing the campaign with, and some of them will tell you that the first time it was my partner who felt something. So you see, it's not just about they enjoying the thing. No. When they are handling it, they need to know what is normal for their partners. I mean, every breast feels different. Okay, so when you hold it, you should know that this is how it's always feeling. Okay. So if another time you are going to touch it and it's feeling differently, please tell your partner. You never know, you'll be saving her. So their role is like extremely important.
Selassie, with 2 daughters and a son, your role is very, very important for your wife and for your daughters. I know he educates his daughters.
Okay.
Yes, he does. Okay, so what was the treatment like for you? Doctor has already highlighted the treatment. What was it like for you?
Okay, so initially I was supposed to have lumpectomy, as she explained, and then hormonal therapy. Okay. But then after the pathology reports came, after the lumpectomy report, sample was sent to the pathologist, and the report came back, and it was they realized there were 2 different cancers. Then the plan changed, so then I needed to have chemotherapy, and I must say I didn't have very nice experience with the chemo, but then I persevered, and after the chemotherapy, another unexpected outcome came. That was when I had to go for a mastectomy. That was to get the whole breast removed. And for me, I think that was the most difficult part of the journey for me, because I I wasn't looking forward to that. That wasn't part of my plans at all.
Okay.
So yes, I had lumpectomy, then I had chemo, then I had a mastectomy, then I had radiation or radiotherapy. I'm currently on the hormonal therapy.
Which should be, I praise
for
your
5
last
years.
stage.
That, yeah, sure.
Wow, wow, wow. We just have a little time left, and I want to pave way for Doctor to highlight some of the programs. I've done my best today, highlighting some of them. The free breast screening. So I'm opening the floor for you now. Some of the programs you have for us. Maybe if there's a social network support group, you also have that people can. So please.
So thank you very much again. And before I say that, let me actually commend Gina again. Like Gina's strength is just too much, and I think throughout this campaign, that is one of the things that we'll be really relying on to let people feel that there is hope. It's all not lost, even if you are diagnosed of breast cancer.
Sure.
So this month, the theme for the campaign is Give Hope, Save Lives. So that's the theme we are working with. And then we are using a hashtag on social media, hashtag Pink It Out.
Pink It Out.
So Pink It Out. We want a lot of people to be in pink throughout the month just to help create the awareness on breast cancer. And currently for Sonotech Medical and Diagnostic Center, we have 3 branches. So there's one in Osu Dankwa Circle. Then there's one at Tema opposite the Tema General Hospital. And there's a new one in the West Hills Mall, right inside the West Hills Mall. We have a new branch there. So when you walk into any of these 3 branches this month, you are going to have your breast screening done for free. Our nurses, our doctors will examine for you for free. Once you do the screening, if there is a need for you to do an ultrasound scan, there's going to be a 50% discount. If you have to do a mammogram, there's going to be a 20% discount. So in-house, that's what we are going to be doing. Today at 12 o'clock, we'll be launching the whole campaign on our social media platforms. So there is Zoom and then there is Facebook. So people can tune into our Facebook account at Sonotech GH. So SONOTECHGH. And then they can watch the launch as well. Aside that, there are a number of screenings that would be during the whole month. So on 9th October, we'll be having a walk with Makeup Ghana, right from Trade Fair. So that's 9th October, Saturday 9th October from 6 a.m. We'll be having a health walk. We'll be walking from Trade Fair through Chado. We have a route where we'll be creating awareness, and then we have a conversion point where we'll be doing the screening as well. On 15th October, we'll be having a pink day at Cora Spa at East Legon, where we'd also have the free screening there. On 24th October, we'll have a fundraising event at Oliver Twist Shack at Latebi Okoshi. The fundraising event is with the hope of raising some funds to help the breast surgery unit at Kolebu Teaching Hospital, and also to help some of our survivors that we are working with undergo the treatment that they are going through. We realize most people are not even coming out because lack of funds. I mean, lack of funds is a big issue. So we are open for support so that throughout the month we can help as many people as we can help. For those that are diagnosed throughout the month who will be needy as well, there are a few slots where we are helping with some of their investigations, so CT scan and some other investigations. So that's what we are doing for the whole month.
All right. I'm happy to hear free breast screening because in as much as walking to the place itself is difficult because of the fears of being diagnosed with breast cancer, the horrid stories that we've heard, some of the pictures we've seen. Remember that when you are diagnosed early, you get to have more hope, because I heard of the 5 years, that thing, yes, the 5 years survival rate. So there's more hope for you. It also means that when detected early, you don't have to go through virtually every stage. You please just go for this. That's why it's being made free for you. Let's go in for it. Men, encourage your women. And yes, that brings me to the last and final question. I just want doctor to hit on this. Should men go for the free screening?
That's a question that we always get. But as we said, the risk is very low in men. But definitely, if you have a family history as a man, you have a family history of breast cancer, and then we know how ideally we're expecting a man's breast to look like. If they've seen any changes, they should come and then let us examine it.
Sasu, it is for free. And they're already here. So you can just follow them. I'm very sure that our director will give you that space this day to just follow them and go and do the breast screening. It's free. Thank you. Sasu, we care about you. We do care. I know there are a lot more questions. I know that by now questions are flowing in, but because of our time, and remember that it is a whole month, we will try and get them back here. We'll discuss more on this as the days go by. It's not over. Remember that we have hope. There's still hope. And we have to save lives, including yours. Go for the free breast. Sasu is cursing me. free breast screening, please. Just go there for it. It's going to work, and all that is very important. But without life, how do you get to go to work without? And for some of you, some women, we know you are breadwinners in your family. That is the more reason why you have to go and get yourself checked. That's the more reason why we don't want to lose you. You are that important. See this survivor here. Look at the smile on her face and do the same. I mean, get that hope, get that courage, and then stand on your 2 feet and go there. West Hills Mall, Osu, Tema, go there free. And if diagnosed, there's nothing to fear. 50% discount for breast ultrasound, and for mammograms is 20% discount. Sonotech is here to help. We are here also to rally in our support. We support women, and it's a pink agenda, Pinktober. I like that so much. So from our guests, I know you. Is there any last word you want to pinch in before? Or anybody you want to say hello or hi to?
Well, I just hope my story inspires somebody out there and gives hope to as many as possible. It is possible to survive breast cancer. I did, and you can too.
Amen. I love that. And doctor?
It's also my hope that with all these efforts, with our partners, with Adoatv's help, we're able to reach out to more people throughout this month. We encourage people to walk to us so that they are screened, join in the campaign, the social media campaign, because you never know who you'll be saving this month.
You never know who you'll be saving. Maybe yourself, maybe your wife, and maybe your daughter, maybe your sister, a loved one, a church member, maybe even somebody just out in the street. You might just meet them and just say, get yourself checked. And that will be a wake-up call to them. We will be right back. Please stay tuned.
Asatek, so your kunini roofing industry nim enti Saudi roofina na wadwen Asatek. Asatek wo quality long span roofing sheeter esan nail free. Try say ehia Saudi da doabo mu nanso etim wodan no so a pampe amframa anahum entumi nya no hwe. Asatek quality long span roofing sheets with beautiful bright colors with anti-fading and anti-rusting properties. Try say every na ache na empanso enti wo ma 30-year warranty. Terms and conditions apply. Asatek quality long span roofing sheet dear. Eyama debia, say a warehouse, school, hotel, hospital, sorry, and now say a wawufi. use Asatec quality nail free long span roofing sheet no be na wo dan do be gina so na yi ne ho wo ye delivery services papa bia emfa ho ne fa kwan wo Asatec bema wo saka order between 3 and 5 working days wo VIP delivery services so a one day pe na wo saka hwehwe Asatec achi kwan Watama 22 Meridian Road woni Cocoa Board Warehouse na ben Takrade Efiekuma number 9 wo ben Efiekuma Fidelity Bank no Volta region so wo wakache Tatome GN Bank and Chen Hope Asatec sheltering you for life.
Water, but you're not getting your mouth. And that's all I'm about to order. You are fired.
Malaria and tea. But you are yet to bono.
What you have to feed it.
Malaria, therefore, yao. Enti awo. Hashirene customers. When you say, Mammy, I smart. Ape Sibi Malakio. Amma nebaya or the eco school. Share. Say a Janisi berry market ni malaria and tea. I want to mean. And now Emma will be around to walk. So we have malaria testing. Maybe one. And Trebetua and the Sibi Malakio. Yedinuna, Nehama, and now Kikabom Asoneso, I Sibi Malakio. And no way so dear. And I know grow. I yet tata shit.
A drawing near my appeal for about a woman for any quada won't fear
Susiana, what would you win?
FD Ashusha sa a jedi and Kratoimu Adia to Musa and
Hello everyone, my name is Adoatv, a proud ambassador for Sonotec's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's hashtag Pinktober, hashtag Sonotec Goes Pink. Now from the 1st October to the 31st October 2021, at any of the 3 branches of Sonotec, Tema, Osu and West Hills Malls, we are gathering together to get free screening. Yes, I said it's free. And that's not all we have for you. We also have 20% off mammogram testing and 50% off ultrasound. Let's go pink from October the 1st to the 31st, 2021 at Osu, Tema, and West Hills Mall, all Sonotec branches. We are giving hope to save a life. See you there.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing desk at Stepwork premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
CB women capsules now. I'm correct. Why your best mankasa?
That's it.
Who anyone? Oh, middle. You capsules back on CB men capsules. Me see CB men capsules na make a year.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You name the dada. And one year packaging I am the
Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules no packaging is out. And you also no mood any biansan wako do pegi.
Share a painful any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada won di fie do ye. Enka ho.
Susanna. Ghana man be man tamase.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA Aji Edredin Kato Yatu.
John, wo fi ni wow. Ede ye fe, ede wa bwejuma. I check roofing na. Oh ye fe wan kasa from Asatek. Oh, na say mo roofing sheets aba bebre nice ha keke. Why na catch you? Asatek roofing sheet de enye nice keke o. With the bodan so e cheyi enwe na che. Na won colors ahodo fe bebre. No mo ne free roofing sheet no de. Wo hia that wa bia o. Na so the bodan so e jire so pampe. Wo tumi so kire mo se ne ope roofing sheet no. Wo twa de sama pepepe. Mama po Asatek mo ne de. Wala ma technical advice na estimate free. Our professional installers nso a won your on-site installation. Ne bo so kra da fam pa. Oh yes, quality ne bo da fam nye. Asatek 5 days pay na mo sa kan order. Na wo ye after sales service papa bi nso. Hwehwe Asatek Watema Community 2, Meridian Road, Ebenkoko Board Warehouse, Western Region. So Asatek Takrade Anaji, Yeni Princeland Hotel and the Shinimu, and a Volta Region, Yawo Akachi South District Assembly Kwainusuwa.
Welcome back. Many thanks for staying with us here on the AM Ghana Breakfast Show on Adoatv Television. Thanks so much to Lady Julia and Dr. Grace Bachman, a medical doctor at the Sonotech Medical and Diagnostic Center, for holding us down there on issues and matters surrounding breast cancer. The month of October is the month of breast cancer awareness. And as you could see, I've changed in that. And this is a clear indication that we should all push and champion this cause. I'm still reminding you that Sonotech is still organizing a free medical breast screening for all women, not just women, because we are being told that the risk is very low in men. But if you have a family history as a man, then you should also go and check. Yes, it's very necessary. You should also go and check. So you could visit any of the offices. They have one in Osu, Tema, and also West Hills. Free breast screening in the month of October. Sonotech, it's giving hope and also saving lives. Thanks so much for that. It is possible to survive breast cancer. You should know that. And we are still staying on issues and matters surrounding health, because sometime last week, as it was reported, and we brought you a lot of that during our news bulletins throughout the week, that the rotational nurse and midwife trainees are embarking on a strike effective October 1. And October 1 is today. So we've been joined in the studio by a member of the association. He happens to be the national treasurer. But this time around, the association is Ghana Nurse Midwife Trainees Association. We would find out from him how different this is from the rotational ones. Is it the case that they just sprang up out of nowhere, or it's a recognized association that they know? Intim Piansan Derek Apia is in the studio with me. He's the national treasurer for Ghana Nurse Midwife Trainees Association, to have a discussion on this. Good morning.
Hello, Isaac. Good morning.
Trust you're doing well.
By God's grace, I'm fine.
We thank God. I think I like your shirt.
Thank you very much.
It's looking, you are looking good. Tell us, how different is the rotational nurses and trainees association from this? Are you the mother association of the rotational nurse and midwife association, we know?
Okay. Good morning to yourself and then to your listeners. You see, as nurses in rotation, the official mouthpiece is the Ghana Nurse Midwife Trainees Association.
You are more or less just like a mother association.
Exactly. When it comes to rotational nurses,
right,
and then student nurses, the Ghana Nurse Midwife Trainees Association are in charge of them. Now, there sometimes comes issues that the people feel have not been handled well, and that they might do a better job. So you find coalitions springing up for such a cause.
Right.
So there's a coalition right now out there claiming to represent rotational nurses.
And that is?
So there's a coalition of nurse and midwives, rotational nurse and midwives, yes.
Association.
Yes, yes.
And that do not belong to the recognized ones, you know.
No, that's not a recognized body. It's not registered.
Okay.
And as it were, they speak for a cause.
Okay.
And so, yeah, they have their rights too. It's a democratic state. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you also know that effective today, this association we are talking about is threatening a strike? Are you aware of that? And is it something you are also in support of? And how far with that strike? Is it coming on? Are you striking today?
Okay, so thank you again for the question. So in relation to the strike, they threatened the strike today, but since
over unpaid allowances.
Now, JEMTA, as I'm discussing and part of, I know what we have done. We embarked on some press conferences to, as it were, make the media and Ghanaians aware of our plight as rotational nurses. And then I think some of these things have yielded different results. And so I have learned that the coalition are calling off the strike today. So as we are speaking now,
it's been called off.
It's been postponed. That's it. Way postponed. They claim it's been postponed.
They postponed it.
Yes.
But not called it. So let's say suspended.
Yes, suspended.
It's been suspended.
Yes. Please.
For what reason?
For the results that are coming up, because we had a list come up. I think just after our press conference.
What list are you talking about?
So you see, there's a clearance list before the rotational nurses are paid, and this is the first indicator that payments are going to be made. So just after our press conference, luckily for us, the list was released, and so
right after the press briefing.
Yes, right after the press briefing.
Held by the Ghana
Nurse Midwife Trainees Association. Right. And so some of these things seem to be being taken care of, and so I think the need for the strike has been really looked at. There are more challenges with the strike, as it were, because you see, rotation is for a period of a year.
Yeah.
And it's a training. So if you say, I'm sitting down, it's like you're going to school and you, for some reason you said, oh, they are not treating me right, so I'm sitting it out. Yeah. Whatever you do, you must complete your syllabus. So that's how rotation is. So because you are not being paid today, you want to postpone your year-long program. We don't think that's the best way to go about it.
So you were not threatening the strike. You were not part of the
not
strike
at all.
like
I said, yes. So a coalition came up thinking that matters were not being handled well. Right. And then they threatened to go on strike.
But before doing that, were you informed as a mother association of these nurses and midwife trainees?
I can't say that we were informed, but we are privy to. You see, there are student leaders that we've been working with over the time, and sometimes agitations makes them feel another path is real to be taken. So we are aware of, we've seen them, but they did not necessarily inform us.
Okay. Yes. But for the Ghana Nurse Midwife Trainees Association, do you receive yours?
As in
the allowances?
No, so the allowance is a general problem that we are facing. I don't know if you have the time. I could run you through how allowances are
run by us what it is.
So the Ministry of Health is basically in charge of allowances for trainees or rotational nurses who are in the public sector, who were trained by government. So you see, when you are done with your schooling as a nurse, a trained nurse, there are two categories. We have those who had gone for private training or have gone through the universities and have obtained their degrees. They all qualify as nurses, but the training is different. The government spent money paying allowances to a group, and so the government sort of, they are bonded groups. That's those who are trained in the public training colleges. Right. So the government is sort of like financing their education and so on. So when they are done, they are still on Ministry of Health payroll
For allowances.
Yes, for their allowances, and it's quite different from what you would receive in the National Service Scheme.
Right.
But there's a case where every year you have to wait for a period for them to put you on a mechanized payroll, and that comes about first by getting the financial clearance from the Ministry of Finance, and then there's a list that the ministry will produce for the hospitals to, as it were, send the details of those rotational nurses for their allowances. So the clearance had not been in, and then the list that would be approved from the ministry had not been in. And all these processes have to come about before the payment can be done.
Be made.
And that's why there were these agitations.
And it's taking about 7 to 8 months.
It's taking about 8 months
to be done.
which is, I mean, not ideal.
Because we were told since February.
Yes, since February. So you can see how anybody is in their rights.
And how much are we talking about
agitating
here?
So we are looking at about 871 Ghana cedis a month.
871 Ghana cedis.
A poetry sum.
You believe so?
Yes. For all the work we do at the hospital. Yes, but I mean, this is Ghana. We have limited means, so it's understandable.
What then were they told before calling off or suspending the strike?
So
was there any assurance? Because we understand you were to meet. Okay, you are not part of the association. The association members were to meet the National Labour Commission for a conversation, which I do not know how it ended up. I understand there was another meeting with the Ministry of Health on this particular subject. Can you run by us what transpired during those meetings?
Okay, so we are privy to the meeting at the Ministry of Health, but as to whether there was a meeting with the National Labour Commission, I can't say.
Right.
We do know that the coalition is not a union, so I don't know on what, I mean, authority or they try to engage the National Labour Commission. I can't say I'm aware.
Right.
Yes. The meeting with the ministry did detail what they've done so far. And the ministry was sort of saying that they had done their part, but then the Ghana Health Service has not brought their list. We had engaged the Ghana Health Service earlier, and then they told us they have also submitted the list to the Ministry of Health. So here's a case because of the differences in agencies. I mean, there are natural bureaucracies, and then they are playing it off. Somebody says, I've done my part.
The other person says, to play the other part.
Exactly. And there's sort of like a stalemate all these years, and then the innocent rotational nurse and midwives were struggling, you see.
The Bimon hardship, could you run us through to understand what these hardships we are talking about is? Because you also fall victim for it.
Yeah, basically, you see, it's natural if you have to go to a facility outside of your comfort zone, outside of your hometown, and then try to help with service delivery. So you go to the hospital, you are more or less a staff once because you have been trained, you're a trained nurse. So when you go there, you do everything that is expected of the nurse. In some facilities, they man the whole ward and so on. And then these people doing all this work have not received any money since the beginning. So if you are renting, all your rent is on you, all the food you buy, your water, electricity, all these things. And then you don't have like a penny to show for all the work and the time committed to the rotation. So you see, it's a clear hardship, as you would say.
How have you been surviving all these while there?
So you see, so the benevolence of our parents, some of us too may have saved something in the past. You never know, but then people, when you talk to people, you can clearly see that, I mean, there are issues. People call us, especially because I have taken a particular role in our allowances. When there are difficulties in payments, people send me their list and so on to forward to the ministry. So you hear people call you, and the rate at which they call can let you know that like things are not all that well.
So do we know for how long this suspension will last?
So for the coalition, they spoke to say that the ministry will be meeting them in a week's time.
Right.
So that will be, I think, 8th October or
Right.
so. That's what they have brought out.
The Ministry of Health.
That's a coalition saying
By
they've
the
met the
Ministry of
ministry,
Health. They
and the
saying
ministry will be meeting them in. Let me put it on record that we've been in any meeting, wherever, concerning rotational nurses. So the first meeting where the ministry has laid what they've done so far, we were there, so we know what is going on. But the coalition is now saying that the ministry will be meeting them in a week's time. However, all the things necessary for the payment of allowance seem to be, unveiling so far. So we hope that.
so there is hope.
Yes, we hope
But
that.
you were not giving any timeline as to when this outstanding payment will be made.
No, because I told you again, the bureaucracies hold. And so I think that it is quite unfortunate that governance or government now sort of responds to agitations and strikes and press conferences and things
Demonstrations
like
in
that.
their lives.
Because it will mean that in the next few weeks or so, if we don't hear from the government, then we'll have to take
an action.
Quite that kind of tangent. We are hoping not to get there. We are hoping that the people will do their jobs well, so that those of us who are struggling at the world, doing our work well, will receive what is due us.
But does that discourage you from the duty you would want to engage yourself into? I mean, the profession.
Well, you see, everybody
beginning as a trainee, and this is what you've begun experiencing.
Exactly. Everybody has their coping mechanisms, and then their
right. But as an association, you've been hearing from your members and their lives. What have they been telling you, for instance?
Necessarily, that's what I'm trying to drive at. You see, we have different people, and people will respond differently to the same situation.
Right.
So you have people who have intrinsic motivating factors that will help them to endure against even, the most dire situations. But then there are people who can be frustrated by some of these things, and then will think twice about their help that they are trying to offer to the nation. Yes.
Right. It's some sort of pathetic and very serious to hear some of these things coming up. But I'm still confused about the rotational nurses and the Ghana Nurses and Midwife Trainees Association. It seems to be like even among you, there is no correlation between the two. How then do you come together to champion such a cause like this?
Okay, so thank you for that. So you see, like I said, out of frustration, things may happen. Now, the ministry has been engaging us over the period, and unfortunately, the Ministry of Health seems to be one particular ministry where releasing of information is quite difficult. Like you get the link with them, you talk to them 1, 2, and then it's like everybody goes off. They cut off their responsibility to communicate actions being taken, and then they don't really reply to what you are trying to ask of them as an association. And when members, and we can't go to reassure people on things that we are not sure of. So when members begin to see some of these things, that's when people break away and try to bring about their own ideas as to how we can achieve the goal of getting the allowances. So basically, like I said, I understand the coalition, that they are fighting for something that one would think that we have failed, but I think that the failure is on part of the government agencies and then the Ministry of Health, because we have been at post from the beginning since February, and they are supposed to ensure that emoluments due the rotational nurses are come about, but they have not done their work well. So the failure is on them, and I think it's one of the unfortunate let's say happenings that can occur when leadership or of the followers do not see leadership to be on top of issues because of the failure of some of these government agencies. And
How many members of the association are we looking at here?
so basically, when you look at the totality, we have about 70,000 plus student nurses and then rotational nurses. But then in relation to the rotational nurses allowances, we are looking at about 12,000 affected people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But I still hold the fact that these two associations could come together. Either they speak through you or you come together as one association so you could be able to champion this cause further. I don't know if you subscribe to that or otherwise.
Yeah, I understand and I believe in what you are saying. But you see, coalitions don't last because usually they spring up for a cause. And once the cause is achieved,
it dissolves.
Yes, it's dissolved because right now they are fighting for allowances. One of their action plans towards getting the allowances was a strike. Now, just one action by the ministry in releasing the list has, disoriented the visualization of the strike. So you can see now that we are no longer looking at one of the action plans that they set out. There has been a postponement. Supposing the ministry is supposed to do something else within that time, the postponement will also not come to fruition, and naturally the coalition
that becomes the end of
would die a natural death. However, the association is there for other issues relating to the issues of the trainee nurse and then the rotational nurse in Ghana.
So is it the case that they don't believe in what the association can do on their behalf, hence they need to set up a new coalition?
That's what I was trying to talk about. I said that the failure lies rather with the government agencies, because immediately after we began rotation in February, we had them know that we had begun rotation. We started asking about rotational allowances and the back and forth. We have released you see, if you look at the letter for the clearance release, somewhere back July, but many days after, there's no real action taken. So it's like,
and was this communicated to them so well to understand this better? Because if you say it's a failure on the part of government, were they aware of this? Were they aware of the plans being taken, the steps being taken by the association to ensure that the allowances are being paid to them?
This is exactly the case. So you see, we will try to champion the cause by dialogue and so on. However, people may seem to realize that we don't get results with our dialoguing and so on. So other actions will take forth. So you see, the initial thing that the coalition came up with letters to be sent to administrators at the hospital threatening strike and so on. So that was one of their first actions, and I think they were in their right to do that. I mean, having been struggling for a while, yes.
Tell me, what will be the next line of action should the negotiations with the Ministry of Health tend to be otherwise?
Okay, so first of all, while we're even having our press conference, we had been called to a meeting with the ministry. Hopefully by next week we'll know how the ministry is positioning themselves. We know that we are in the end game towards receiving the allowances. Hopefully it will come to us, and then God willing, we don't have to do any strike or anything like that, because we don't like to do those things.
You don't share into that. I would want you to look into the camera. I think that is the one straight in front of you. Anywhere to your association members and even to the rotational nurses, the coalition of rotational nurses and midwives.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think it's in our best interest to remain resolute. We have been at post for all these years. We all understand what rotation is about. It's a period of 12 months, and you have to be at post to be cleared to become a working staff. So here's the case: no matter what we do, we'll still have to finish it. So let's work hard while we engage ministry to do the right thing on our behalf.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for your time. and we are most grateful for
Thank you
coming.
very
We are
much,
hoping
Isaac.
and praying so well that government will pay heed to your plea and attend to your call. Your allowances will be paid you. Your allowances due will be paid for you. In team Piansa Derek Apia is the national treasurer for the Ghana Nurse Midwife Trainees Association, and that's how we draw down curtains. So today's edition of the Ghana Breakfast Show. It's been a pleasure coming your way Monday till up until Friday. The weekend is here. Please, if you'd want to have some sort of chilling and the likes, be very moderate because COVID is still around. I've been doing this with Lady Julia and Jonathan brought us the Ghana News. Yao Ampofu was here earlier with the very latest in the world of sports. Isaac to political babyface. And on behalf of myself and the rest of the production team, Selassie, Isaac Morty, and Captain George McLean for holding us down throughout the week, we say have a lovely weekend.